Within the ancient order of the Harbingers, every member knows two prophecies, two eventualities, one of peace and one of doom. Only one of these foretellings may prove true, but not even the gods know which. And so the Harbingers fight, seeking always to stand against the darkness and be heralds of the times of peace. Yet always the shadow lurks. Doom is waiting, biding its time, assured of its own inevitability, prowling like a great cat ready to strike, hanging from above like a blade on a thread. Doom, they tell themselves. Doom is coming, and only they may stop it. But to fight an enemy, you must know them. And so they recite the prophecy of doom.
I shall not see a world that will be dear to me. Summer without flowers, cows without milk, folk without conscience, warriors not brave.
Conquests without a king.
Woods without fruit, fishless seas. Multitudes of storms.
Bad judgments by old men, false precedents of the lawgivers. Forts barren of structures, hollow.
A stronghold coming from mistakes, a devastated time. An excess of lords, but too many homeless.
Joy in evil, covered in sorrow. Everyone a betrayer, each child a robber. Oh, evil time. Son will deceive father, daughter will deceive mother.
Ahoy and welcome everyone. Welcome to Harbingers, a Horizons Call game. I am Derek Sword. I am your GM for this game. I use he, him pronouns. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. This is part 3 of a 6-week campaign, which is not long enough for these amazing characters, as has become evident from the very get-go. But I promise that if they want to come back, they will come back. So thank you for joining us. We are just about halfway through. And as we are living on a prayer, I'm going to go around and have these lovely people introduce themselves. But even before that, to take a step back, I do want to say that these lovely folks did choose, in lieu of any type of financial support to themselves, to actually support a wonderful cause. So the cause for this campaign in particular is the Entertainment Community Fund, formerly the Actors Fund. And so anything that you are willing and able, both of those qualities are important together, to donate can, well, first of all, will go directly to the Entertainment Community Fund. Second of all, will directly impact this game if you hit certain levels. So if you do the equivalent of $5, you get an advantage, $10 crit, so on and so forth. You can even add a complication, which we do have one floating right now that perhaps we will get to today. Which makes things just a little extra difficult for our wonderful party here as they go to solve some mysteries. So I do want to say a little bit about the Entertainment Community Fund. It is a wonderful organization, has a broad spectrum of programs. They support individuals who work in, all across arts and entertainment, so including theater, film, television, radio, music, dance, opera, circus. I mean, even the ones you don't really think of, we don't often rope circus into that, but they are a part of it as well. It helps people financially should they be or have trouble finding work. This was a big organization that helped people in the industry during COVID, and so your money goes towards a great cause. It goes towards continuing the arts and entertainment that we enjoy and helping the people that make it, not only the people on stage but the people behind the stage as well. Backstage is the term, that make it work as well. So thank you to those of you who have donated already. It's very much appreciated. If you can't donate, that's totally understandable. We appreciate if you can do if you can boost the signal, get the word out as well. That is always much appreciated on top of it. Cool. So yes, let's go ahead and go around. I'm gonna have these lovely folks introduce themselves and their characters, and then we'll do a little recap and jump back into things. So let's start out with Abhishek. You are first on my screen.
All right. Hey everyone, my name is Abhishek Watange. I use he, him pronouns. I will be playing the ever lovely and ever so statuesque Anubia, our resident Anubite monk. Yeah. So I'll also be doing the recap, but we'll get to that later.
We will. I love statuesque as I've noticed something with player characters is that often they will acquire titles as a game goes on. And I love that just statuesque is right there at the top. It is accurate and more than adequate. It is accurate. Um, Next up is Alex.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex. Today I am playing Desiree, the Drow Echo Knight, who's about to be 5 whole silver wealthier.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see how that discussion goes. Yeah. Loose terms on a bet, but hey, 5 whole silver that can get you places. Okay. Next up, LD.
Oh, hey, that's me. Hi, everybody. I'm LD, your Lady Dame, and I am playing Fia. I use she, her pronouns. I'm playing Fia of the Rowan. Nope, I got no description for today. She's just the one and only Fia of the Rowan, our Harpy Blood Hunter. The little dash of rogue for extra spice. Yeah, and I apologize in advance for
Yeah,
any sneezing that happens off. But you'll also get, you're getting this extra super sexy sick voice today. So here we go.
It's very good. It's very
Thank you.
smoky. LD is being an absolute trooper right now. But I expect, LD even at her worst is still better than most. So, I will say Fia is whip smart, whiplash
Not-
of a
God damn
personality.
it.
Yeah, with a whip at her hip. I don't know. Indiana Jones. Rack, please stop me.
All right, hey everyone. I'm Rakolai. No preference on how you pronounce it. I'm just glad you're here. Thanks for tuning in today. I will be playing Croak, the Kenku Ranger Rogue, who comes with his own little pack of birds to do bird stuff with.
A weird bird with weird birds. Yes. Thank you, Rack. Last, absolutely not least, Gena.
Hey, I'm Gina. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing our Air Genasi combat medic paladin, Saskia Kavirense. Don't try anything she does at home. That's where I'm gonna leave it.
I like that. I like a paladin that has a warning label on them, just right across the breastplate. Like, yeah, don't try this at home. That's fantastic. Okay. Well, as Abhishek said, we have a recap. So, please, by all means, take it away.
So on our last episode of Harbingers, the gang of Harbingers was dropped in the middle of our combat against 3 pirate ships full of gnolls. Yeah, we fought our way through. Eventually, it kind of became a bit of a duel, surprisingly, because the Gnoll captain surprisingly offered up a champion named Ashmaker and just said, you know what? Pick however many you want. We'll take you on. So it eventually became Anubia, Desiree, and Croak versus Ashmaker, and we were successful. After that little brief skirmish, 6 weeks later, we finally landed on Lymeria. So we found out the Halcyon would remain in port for 2 weeks before casting off again and saying, hey, you got 2 weeks, finish up what you got to do and come back or else. So, in order to get some information, the group heads over to the Copperhead Inn Tavern to find out any info about their Harbinger contact, a big Minotaur man named Hostius. They did learn from the barkeep that there have been some other people asking around about our contact. Not all of whom seemed very trustworthy, which is why sort of a vetting process was kind of put in place. We did prove ourselves as trustworthy, but the barkeep said they haven't really heard from him in a little bit, so we decided to split up and go find him. Fia, however, notices someone kind of run out of the bar right as soon as that happens, so Naturally, Fia, Anuvia, and Croak decide to give chase, while Desiree and Saskia go off to find Hostius. Bit of a side note, Desiree bet Saskia at 5 silver that the other team would not find anything. We'll see how that goes. Speaking of our chasing trio, they chase after this figure who's kind of a wood elf, but a little strange, to say the least. They catch up with them just before they hit the tree line, and strange is an understatement. It's very uncanny valley, as Derek put it. Very black eyes, weird, incredibly weird laugh, almost like inhuman, and their eyes just do this weird thing where they just kind of look in both directions at once. Totally not creepy at all. It does manage to slip away into a warehouse, where we sort of switch back over to Desiree and Saskia. They are searching for Hostius. They find his rental hut. They open it, and they found what was left of Hostius. Yeah, that is not a pretty sight. He's been dead for at least a week, roughly. And on the walls, they're scribbled with blood, all saying the same thing. The stars will fall. Cutting back over to the other three, they investigate the warehouse that the wood elf slipped away into, only to find the skin of the wood elf, like, completely hollow, and there's like a bunch of weird holes under it. They also do find a journal. They do find a journal belonging to the wood elf, who's named Dane. He's a PI. He accepted a job from some shady characters and started having dreams about the Harbingers, of us specifically, when that all sort of ended up devolving into another scroll with a familiar phrase, "The stars will fall." And that's where we left off.
Fantastic. Thank you. Please enjoy that inspiration. Actually, I'm sorry. There is one last thing before we jump in, because I was made aware of this yesterday, and I do want to say, at least to state it loud and clear. We at Sword and Key, and I speak for the mod team and for even myself as the founders. We are in full support of the ceasefire between Palestine and Israel. It was brought to my attention last night that there is a strike going on, as there is a planned strike against Palestine from the 21st to the 28th of January. Because I basically found out last night, and because this game specifically is on a tighter schedule, we only really have 6 weeks, mostly because of player ability. We chose at least to do this, but the premiere of Horizons Call will be delayed, so will not be coming up this coming Saturday, but will be the following week after that, and we will not be having any other events. We will essentially be going social media silent as well. So obviously, do whatever you can do, whatever you are able to do in this hellscape of capitalism that we exist in, but that is something that we've chosen to do in support. So if you would like more resources, there are some on Twitter that I'm going to retweet after this, but definitely, if you can support in any way, whether it be, again, we're also, this game being a charity game, we wanted at least to continue that engagement as well. But definitely, if you have the extra funds to support towards Palestinian efforts as well, that definitely do your research before you donate. But there are some really good causes out there that are doing some really good support. Project Hope is a great one. So I just want to put that out there and say that we are not ignoring it. We're going to be engaging with it. We just couldn't necessarily maneuver this one around, but the rest of the week we will be engaging with that. So just wanted to make that clear. Let's go ahead and jump back into stuff. So you were still separated into two groups. We're basically going to pick up right where we left off. So let's go to the Saskia Desiree party. Still finding yourselves in the rental of Hostius. Again, it probably smells, I have to imagine, in this humid, dense room that really has like one window that is not open. There is a carcass in here that has been, I mean, just butchered is the word. There are flies about, there are paper strewn everywhere. Is there anything any of you would like to do in this space now that you have seen the writing on the wall, literally?
Could I cast a quick detect magic on the entire
Sure.
situation? I'm pretty sure he looks well beyond my help, so I will focus on doing that instead.
Absolutely. So you cast detect magic. Um, I love detect magic is one of those things that you can kind of interpret in a number of ways. How does Saskia's detect magic work? Is it a visual thing? Is it like what senses does she use to detect magic?
I think it's less of like a visual thing. I think it's more like a just saying not like a vibe check, but I feel like it's like, kind of like a breezy sort of thing.
Sure.
She
Yeah, like an aura sort of deal, maybe.
yes,
Okay,
exactly.
I like that. Um, so Saskia kind of like getting your vibe of this room, getting the aura of the room. A lot of mundanity in here. You know, this is just a rental. Most of the furniture is pretty mundane. So when the magic items do ping, they kind of are like flaring out in this otherwise, you know, black and white kind of space. The aura of them is much stronger. So you do notice that sticking out from the corner of the bed that has been just ransacked, but it's almost like within the mattress itself there's a small split, and you can get the vibe of like this beacon of magic inside that. Hostius, being a somewhat magical individual, is still kind of giving off just this kind of like latent sort of vibe to him. He does have a weapon that has been lodged in the floorboards not too far from him. Not sure if you've ever met Hostius or not, but this is it's a headsman's axe that has if you're because detect magic also says you kind of get like, you know, the vibe of what kind of magic. This has a lot of dark, necrotic, even necromantic kind of magic attached to it. And those are really the two things that you're picking up. There's nothing else that's really pinging in here besides that.
Okay, so there's nothing like untoward in the room that might just be hanging out.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're not
good to
picking up
know.
on any creatures that might be giving off magical energy. Yeah, you're not picking up on like, you know, your detect magic might even give, you know, like something that's invisible, something like that. No, you're not picking up on any type of latent spells or traps or anything like that.
Okay, awesome, awesome. I will communicate that to Desade that there's nothing trapped, there's no nasty surprises hanging out.
Good to know. And I hope you'll forgive me, I don't know much about magic. I assume this, and I'm just gonna gesture at Ahostius's like very injured body, is not something we can fix.
No, I think it's well beyond my ability here. I deal in living things, generally.
Understood. And Derek, can I just give a quick, like, mundane kind of like sweep of the area, looking for like anything that seems significant, and also any information that might have to do with the Harbingers? Because, like, ideally, that information should not just be floating out in the ether.
For sure. So give me an investigation check as you're kind of like going through this ransacked room.
Mhm.
You all have gotten the perception to kind of pick up on the overall picture, but as you're looking for specific pieces, uh, we'll see
Uh,
what you can find.
that is a 9.
A nine. Okay. Um, pretty like a lot of the papers on the floor are so soaked in blood that it's hard to tell what was ever written on them, if anything.
Mhm.
I mean, like pages have been torn out of books. The like everything has been just like I said, ransacked. It's like a tornado came through
Mhm.
here and a tornado with knives. Um, you do find, I think one of the only pieces of paper that is that really stands out to you because it's not disturbed like all of the others. It's sitting on a desk. It's actually like squared on the desk. There's a desk mat, and it is, dead center, like somebody placed it there and measured it. And it is a very like well done drawing, almost like portraiture, like character study of Hostius. But
Saskia, did
otherwise,
you? Okay.
so I was gonna say, but otherwise, besides all of that, Harbinger stuff, there's not like symbols on the wall or anything.
Mhm.
Haas doesn't have. I mean, he's not clothed at this point, so there's no armor or like pendants or anything like that. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that until Saskia
Mhm.
determines what she wants to do with the magical items.
Quick follow-up question. Um, what like degree like of like secrecy do the Harbingers keep about their own information? Is that like the sort of thing that like they very explicitly try to keep hidden, or is it the sort of thing that's just out of the way and they don't really care to tell people about it?
So the Harbingers are a secretive organization in the sense that like people know that the Harbingers exist. Like, I'll compare it to a spy organization. We
Hmm.
know that MI5, the CIA exists. We don't
Hmm.
know what they know.
Hmm.
So in that sense, like yes, they will keep their proprietary information. They will
Hmm.
keep the information that they gather about their tasks, their venture to keep the Doom prophecy at bay. Those are important things because if those things fall into the wrong hands,
Hmm.
it only then goes to help whoever is trying to make the Doom prophecy
Hmm.
come true. So yes, they're going to keep secrets, but it might not be a secret that hey, there's a harbinger in town.
Okay,
The
gotcha.
harbingers don't always dress super conspicuously. They're often in the
Hmm.
black leathers. Just
Hmm.
yeah, it's a ship knows when they have a
Yeah.
harbinger on board. So, but yes, to the information that Haas might have gathered, that he
Hmm.
would have tried to keep secret.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm, I do think I want to set aside the axe. I would like to take that. I don't think that it's one of those things that it's like I'd like to take the axe back all the way back to HQ at least. Because I
Okay.
don't know if we could take this body back, especially in this state.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think our I don't think our captain will be appreciative of that. Um, Could I real quick, since I'm standing here, is there like an obvious like how did any assailant get in or out, or is this like clearly like through the front door or something like that,
Um,
like tracks or some shit?
yeah, I'm this isn't even a roll. The window is closed. They might have come in through the window and closed it behind them, but like there's a main entrance. They didn't come up from the floor or through the ceiling or anything like that. This is very much like you're kind of piecing together the footprints that you can see that are hoof prints, and then there's boot prints. So you can see where Haas stood and where the assailants, and there are multiple, stood as well. And you can kind of tell they came in through the front door, probably just knocked, forced their way in, and overpowered Haas, but it definitely was a fight. As actually, give me an investigation check at least to determine how the fight went. We'll do that.
I love like Saskia doesn't know that they could. What is it? 18.
Yeah, you're like a crime scene investigator. I mean, literally, you're the medical provider. You're a crime scene investigator. Um, So, Saskia, you notice that there are multiple types of blood. Maybe not something you even classify as blood. Like Haas's blood has, coagulated over time, it's darkened, and then there's a much darker, almost ink type blood that is in here as well. You can see how feet would kind of dance around each other. I mean, you can see the axe marks in the wall. It seems like, Haas was doing some damage to his own living space just by swinging so wildly with this axe. And then by looking at the cuts, they are precise and small, like they were done with daggers. This was probably 2 to 3 individuals who just surrounded Haas and just cut him to ribbons, but also were injured themselves just not to the point that any of them were left behind. There's no drag marks or anything like that. And Saskia, are you going for the either of the magic items? Because I know you said you were thinking about the axe.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and set the axe aside.
Okay. So axe is like lodged in the floor. So give me an athletics check.
Not so great at that.
It's okay.
Oof, that's a 5.
A 5 was actually all that you needed. But I do need a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, that's fun. Wisdom saves. Where are they? Okay, I'm actually pretty good at those. Whatever is 14 plus 6, that's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Great.
Yes.
As your hand touches the hilt of the axe, you do feel this cold kind of go up your wrist, and you do hear a voice in your head that says, uh, a new hand. You are not my former owner.
Your former owner seems to be very dead, my dear.
Do you wish to have great power?
Me? No, I'm a humble gal. I just want to go home.
Very well. I will find another. Dirty 20, good enough to resist anything that this axe is. You had a nice conversation with it. And a 5 was not overwhelming to this axe to be like, oh, this is gonna be good. This axe is like, I'll wait for the next one. But you may store the axe, however, it is going to be passive to you, not imposing its curse question mark. Um and then yes, the other item, which was the looks like a book or stack of papers that was coming out of the corner of the bed.
I will point that out to Desiree. I'm now feeling wary of touching magic items in this room. It's your problem now.
I will pick up the papers and just pick them up and just put them somewhere, save the
Yeah.
reading for later. But I
It
do
is a
want...
journal with a
Okay,
lock
cool.
on it. So Saskia was picking up on abjuration magic for that one. So
Gotcha.
it is a locked journal that has some sort of protection magic around it.
Okay. Then I'll wait to reconvene with some people who know how to cast spells and shit.
Fair enough.
But as I grab that, I do kind of turn to Saskia. Well, all that's left to do now is burn it down, I suppose.
Kind of conflicted. I don't know if we should wait for the others to see this or not. I don't know if there's anything we're missing, but
Good point.
I do feel kind of bad just leaving him here. But it is what it is.
Can't be helped.
I'm about to like circle back in case anybody. Did we agree where we were supposed to meet? I can't remember.
I don't
Not
believe we did.
necessarily. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the Copperhead as a meeting point. However, everyone also did hear what Haas's place looks like, so that you technically could be at the meeting point. But while you all determine or think about at least what you would like to do with Haas's current state and residence, state and estate, let's cut over to the other three. You all find yourselves in a locked warehouse. You have made your way in through one of the windows that are about 20 feet up on this like half circle, half cylinder building, and finding yourselves in here with a number of supplies, just storage warehouse. You have the skin of the spy, the pursuer, or the pursuant, as well as the bag that they were carrying as well.
Right. And we had already found like information about who this person had been.
Correct. So you had determined that this was a private investigator, a wood elf named Dane, who was hired by some mysterious individuals who had enough coin. However, at the more and more they seemed to write about their interactions, the more erratic their writings became, and the more erratic their reports became until they kind of cut off like actual legible writing, made some script that is indeterminate to any of you, and then like went purely into drawings, and
Yep.
you all found character study-esque drawings of yourselves.
I think we had talked about taking um this skin back to Saskia to have her look at it.
Mhm.
Um Croak, can your friends, I mean, we could just head, we know where Saskia and Desiree were headed. I feel like we should try and go back to them, and certainly we'd like to see meet Hoss as well. Of course. Right. Uh I was Croak, do your friends, are your friends able to like go and suss out exactly where Desiree and Saskia are? Like we know the general direction, but is that something that your
Uh,
friends can do?
Croak kind of scratches his head and then shrugs, and then kind of goes like this with his with one
All
of his
right.
vestigial wings.
Maybe if we get a little bit closer. I don't, unless you'll think that we can find something else here, but I think
I
I
think we
feel
found
like
all we can here.
we've hit a dead end. No pun intended. Anubia, would you mind dealing with that?
Yes, I'll deal with it.
There's something about the lack of blood that is throwing me off. That makes me very uncomfortable. It's just a suit of something that used to be, and it makes me. Anyway, so I think we should head back, or go find our friends, and hopefully they've had more luck than we have.
Well, we'll only know when we find them, but yeah. Here's hoping.
Yeah. Um, as you all go to exit the warehouse, you start to notice that the otherwise bright, sunny afternoon is quickly becoming clouded over with thunderstorms.
Oh,
Kind of
good.
get the idea, any site of sort of ocean town, especially one is on an island as verdant as this, probably experiences a lot of storms. And as this rainstorm moves in, it kind of brings this gray tint over everything. It really dims a lot of the colors. You all follow the same directions that were given to Saskia and Desiree, going further into beyond the town borders itself. Moving out of one of the main walls, and that is something that maybe you all are picking up on is that this culture, the architecture of this culture, really likes walls. There are a number that you just kind of pass through these gates, and it's not really a defensive thing. It's more of like a decorative thing. You notice that all of the walls kind of have this these images that are placed into them, either in mosaic style or are carved in, and it's a variety of art styles, which is kind of interesting as well. um, as you all are kind of moving at a not running after somebody pace, you also notice a few statues around which absolutely don't match the architecture and almost seemed foreign, but are very weathered as well, and don't seem to have a lot of like. There's not a veneration around any of them. Like people just kind of will set stuff up by them and will pass by them. There's not a lot of attention that's paid to them. You all would like to learn anything about anything at any point, we can absolutely do checks, but this is more just kind of what you see as moving along. Um, but you continue along until you reach the familiar green roof structure that you were told was where Hostius lived. And you can see, again, there's three doors, the middle of which is currently open. And if you all would continue onwards, you would see inside is the horror show of what Hostius is now, what remains of Hostius, as well as Saskia and Desiree, presuming that they did not go anywhere in the meantime.
I'm gonna say as they were coming up, I'm setting out a little silver wire around the room. I'm casting alarm, taking my minute to do that.
I like
It's
that.
just a thing I can do as a Watcher's Paladin. I'm going to set it for anybody that's not us to tell me, or like small like persons. I don't want squirrels being informed to me. I don't care about that.
All right. Yes, absolutely. So your alarm then would, I believe it still does indicate when people move through, so it would alert you towards your companions.
Yes, I can set it so it doesn't tell me about those.
Yeah. Okay. Regardless, the
Whatever.
alarm is set.
It's a long thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Your party reunited again. Different bits of information. What would you all like to do?
Well, this looks like your search was just as fruitful as ours.
It seems we have a whole mess here.
What in the hell happened to Haas?
Croak's going to kind of look at Hastia's body and then back at the two of them and then kind of point between them with like a questioning look. Kind of pull out a dagger, do like a stabbing motion, and then shrug.
Yeah, what Croak said.
It seems that, in my professional opinion, that there were two or three assailants of some type just came through the door and killed our dear informants here. Put up quite a fight, but not enough of one. And they just left out the way they came. So, gesture to the wall. I believe that's self-explanatory. So,
Saskia did it. She was unstoppable. And I'm like,
I mean, I would
saying this in very much like jest, like it's apparent.
you know,
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, but
I knew she had a dark side to her.
It's like nothing I've ever seen.
Still putting out my wire.
Well, this is, as awful as this looks, it's
Not
something
sure.
that looks a lot more familiar than what we ran into. Anubia, if you don't mind.
yeah. Anubia is going to so Anubia so for flavor. Anubia when they were getting ready to leave, Anubia would have been like folding up the skin almost like it was
Ew.
like a cloth.
Gross. Yep.
So you just see her pull out like this, what you think is like a cloth, and then just it unfurls into like a human skin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's who we were chasing.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts, Saskia?
Do I have any thoughts on whatever?
This.
Would you like to roll a medical check?
I would like to roll a medicine check. I'm
Yeah, I would
surprisingly
say-
bad at those.
This could
That's
even
good.
be medicine, arcana, or investigation. So if you have either of those skills, that might be better. You won't get the exact same information, but you will get information that could potentially be pertinent.
I will roll an investigation check.
Cool.
And I'll tell. So this is what we were chasing, and it sort of dissolved into a goo and went through some boards, and this was all that was left.
18 plus 5, it's 23 on investigation.
Fantastic. Saskia, as you take the skin suit from Nubia, you kind of like maybe drape it over your arm. You're looking into it. You're actually like maybe even looking on the inside. Look for a tag, see what size it is. You notice that on the inside of this thing are very minutely, like your eyes are trained enough to see this, like something carved hundreds, thousands even, arcane symbols on the inside of this thing. And they're
Okay.
like almost like if they were done with like needlework. They're so like they don't come to the outside. There's no scarification. It's just like something was idly just writing on the inside of this thing. And again, there's no viscera, there's no blood of any kind. It is unsettlingly dry on the inside of this thing.
I think our friend could have used a better moisturizing routine, but that's not the most important thing here. You see this little like writing? Little like I'm not super well versed in magic here, but I don't think that's supposed to be on the inside, if you know what I mean.
Oh, good lord.
Um
I had not
hmm.
looked that close before.
Do I? I will explain fully to everybody here in case, but it's like, do I know of anything that could do that specifically, like creatures or anything of the sort? Like, what am I looking
Roll
at here?
Arcana or history.
No, I didn't recognize whatever it was myself. And I've seen a lot of stuff, but nothing quite like this.
They're the same, but I have Arcana check.
Okay.
Oh, that's bad. That's a 6.
Okay. You are like poking fingers through the eye holes trying to like make a bad puppet or something as you're trying to figure out what this thing is. And you've absolutely heard of creatures that can fit through tiny spaces. I mean, there's always gelatinous whatevers, oozes and all that. But for something that otherwise seems solid, you I mean, you make the very easy determination that whatever is on the inside, like skin is a malleable thing. Technically, if you removed all the solid bits from somebody, they could fit through a 1-inch space. But so that would mean you need to remove all the solid bits. And it's as you're having that revelation that the hand of this thing grips around your wrist. And all of you would watch as this thing begins to very rapidly start to encompass Saskia. And Saskia, I will need a strength saving throw from you as this thing is trying to now wrap around you almost anaconda like and crush you, this just loose fabric of flesh that is now wrapped completely around you with these arcane symbols starting to
Ooh.
glow and even warm up.
Okay, wait, I gotta make sure that's not a 1. Yes,
Okay.
okay, that is a nat 20 for a 26 total.
Incredible. Okay, so as this thing is trying to like wrap around your face and even blind you, you are able to fight it off, remove its surprisingly strong grip from your wrist, and fling it onto the ground where it seems to not move. It seems to be innate. But it's like this thing was trying to either encompass you, like have you wear it, or it wear you, or it was trying to harm you in some way. You're not exactly sure what the motive was there. It was a very unpleasant experience, so maybe a little of both.
Yee. Okay. Okay. It doesn't like it. It doesn't like it. I don't know what I'm doing here. She's a lot calmer than I am about this, though, I will say.
Yes, all of you would have just watched as this skin seemed to come to life and tried to just wrap around Saskia, wrap her, like cover her face, blind her, asphyxiate, and also like there's probably the beginnings of a very faint bruise on Saskia's wrist from where it gripped.
Croak is going to approach the skin and like poke at it with his short sword to see if it moves.
Yeah. So this is just a poke, not an attack?
Yeah.
Okay. Croak, it does, as you poke it with the sword, go to lunge at you. So I will need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Dexterity.
Probably asking the right person.
I would hope. That is a 23.
Okay. Flings at you almost like like some horrible bat creature where it's just splayed out like it's trying to like a rug that's being thrown poorly at you. It tries to engulf you and you dodge out of the way and it just flops onto the ground and again is innate on the ground.
Can I cast levitate on it?
Yeah.
If it is an unwilling to be levitated, it needs to make a Constitution saving throw against a DC 14.
That skin suit has to make a con save.
That is something I never
Jesus,
thought I would hear.
Mary and Joseph.
Whether it fights back or not, you can't really tell as it does levitate into the air.
Okay, I will suspend it there. That is concentration up to 10 minutes, just for your information.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I hate that even more now.
Anybody have like a bag? Anybody have like a bag or something I could just stick it in?
Do you want to keep this thing?
What are we gonna do with that?
Burn it.
It is
Going to
interesting.
Just burn it. Burn it, shred it, whatever we have to do. I don't think keeping it will be it wouldn't be the best idea.
Look,
Surely
well,
there is something to learn from the hundreds sigils written on the inside of this thing.
ugh,
Destroying it would be a waste.
I hate
Found a
that
way
you're
to
probably
pacify
right
it.
about it, but I don't want to be anywhere near this thing. We
Why
did
not?
find. We have the journal. We also know that, and confirm that the Starfall is here and wrapped up in this skin suit. This journal all mention it, right? We heard. I
Right.
can't remember if it was a conversation because it was a week ago. We know that this thing, whatever it was, is connected to the Starfall. But
Well,
if
not
you
just
want to
that.
keep it, by all means, it's your responsibility.
Can I just like find like a sack or something in this house? Like, is there any just like random bags somewhere?
Sure. Yeah. There's plenty. Yeah, you can find like there's probably like a backpack. You know, there's a satchel, and then there's also just like a burlap potato sack.
So I would like to get the burlap potato sack, put it inside the backpack.
Mhm.
and
Sure.
I'm
yeah.
just like
du-
bobbing it
double
up and down.
yeah, just
Yeah.
bag this bad boy up.
Okay. Yes, and when you do, it does not seem to protest in any way.
We also found this, and I will hold up the locked journal. It's magical. I could attempt to dispel it, but I don't want to do that flippantly.
Smart
So-
choice, yeah.
Would anybody like to take a look? Because I'm not particularly trained on these sorts of things.
It's locked with magic of some sort?
It's locked with a lock. It has magic on it.
Hmm.
I don't know exactly what's going on.
Well, I can't say that I'd be able to pick the lock, but I don't know if I'd be able to dispel whatever's on it myself.
Well, let's give it a shot then. Derek, can I cast Dispel Magic on this thing?
You certainly can.
Yeah.
Give me one moment here to just pull up the spell. So I don't think that you'll necessarily have to roll anything, but I just want to double check because I don't have the spell memorized.
I don't either. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, because Dispel Magic goes up to level 3 spells,
I
right?
think so, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, casting Dispel Magic on it, you would watch as so it's a leather journal, has like a standard, you know, it looks like a diary. It has like the diary lock on it. Although you notice that there definitely is a magical quality, almost like a trap to it, where if
Okay.
you tried to force it open, bad stuff. So you cast Dispel Magic. You see a number of runes light up. Those of you who might be arcanally inclined, I'm not sure arcanally is a word, you would recognize this as an arcane lock with a little twist to it. However, you are able to dispel the magic on it, and the lock clicks open, and the pages are available to you.
Well, that was easy.
Surprisingly well for all the other things that happened today.
Well, enlighten us. Tell us the tale of whatever's in that journal.
Can I give it a quick look? Especially focus on the last few pages.
So what you're picking up is that Haas has been here has been in Key and Thray for some time. He has been gathering information about a place that he believes to be deeply connected to the prophecy of doom, and that is part of the legend of this island, which is the lost city of Toraleng Sin. It is the city of gates, and it is said that in this lost city, this forbidden city, that there is a mighty gate which behind something of eternal darkness remains, and that should this gate ever be opened, doom, the translation of doom will befall the world. So he is kind of putting that together, and so a lot of his research has been going into trying to find, or at least find guides who could lead him to the lost city of Toraleng Sin.
Mm-hmm.
So he has gathered a lot of information from the histories around here. He has been compiling that. But you also notice that there are personal entries which mention he knows he's being followed. He needs backup. He's reached out to any of the branches of the Harbingers to send him, but he also, from his own, bone throwing, his own omen telling, does not get good vibes off of the response. He also notes 5 ? At one point. But yes, he has a number of points of interest. If you all did want to pursue Toraleng Sin, it seems like he might have a path for you to follow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll relay all of that.
Well, it seems straightforward to me is to finish what Haas started.
Agree.
Oh, very much agreed.
We're sod. This is why we don't throw bones for ourselves. I knew that this was coming. Well, anything else that we want to do? Just talk to see who's else around here, or should we just try and hot-foot it before whoever's out there gets there, wherever there is?
Personally, I think we should burn all this down and then head out.
I agree.
It's attached to 2 other people's houses.
Unfortunately.
Thank you, Gena.
Maybe not the house itself, but at least we can give Haas a proper send-off.
Haas's body is not what I'm concerned with. I mean, unless we want to scour this room for all of the possible information that might be here.
I could give a look, see? If there's anything that you might have missed. Unless you think you found everything.
Very well could have missed something.
I'll take a look around one last time.
Give me
Can
an
Croak
investigation
also
check.
make an investigation?
If you would like, you could do your separate, or you could give advantage to the other if either of you have a stronger investigation check.
I'll do my own. I'll kind of tap around on the floor with my beak.
Mine
Sure.
isn't. Oh god. It's cocked. Okay,
He's
that's
gonna
not bad.
look at the handwriting
17.
on the walls. Does it match any of the ones that we saw in Dane's journal at all?
Ooh, good.
Give me a separate investigation check for that, because that's going to be a little bit of a tougher DC.
Okay.
Got a dirty 20.
Okay.
17.
17. Okay. Looking around the room, you all see, again, it's like a tornado with knives came through here. See the kitchen has been disturbed as well. There's rotting food in there. The furniture has all been torn up. It's surprising that they missed the journal, as there are slashes in the bed. You do kind of pick up that they were looking for something small, and you do find it odd that they left the magical weapon here as well, but seemed to take, the mundane things. They took the armor that Haas likely would have worn. Um,
These were like terrible, whatever they are. They're very disorganized, I must say.
You can see that they did tear pages out of some of the research books that Haas had gathered about Torling Sin, and also some of the books that he has, which seem to have histories of the Nerian Empire, which you do know have a failed history here as well. So you're not exactly sure what they took, but it seems like these were pages towards the back of the book, which are often graphs, maps, things like that. And these are like handwritten, one of a kind kind of books that Haas had acquired. Yeah, I don't think either of you pick up anything more than that. Anubia, what was your investigation roll?
I got a 16.
16. Handwriting hard to tell, especially when it is finger painting with blood. Finger painting with blood right after Bob Ross. I mean, it's the same message. It is very possible that, if there were 3 individuals here, one of them might have been Dane, or what now is yes, Dane removed. But yeah, it's not like this was written with a pen, so that's the big difference between them. There's so much variety to the writing, and the writing is in multiple languages. It is written in Elvish, it is written in Dwarven, Gnomish, Goblinoid. It's written in Loxodon. It's written like a Rosetta Stone of just this one sentence.
Well, I think we should take the books with us. I will hand them to somebody else. I don't carry books, but but we should take them with us. It makes me nervous that they already have maps to wherever it is that they're going, and who knows how many if there were 3 here, you said 2 or 3, and we've met maybe one of them. Who knows how many more there are out there, and what we'll find when we get there. But
it's not necessarily the only thing that worries me, though. Anubia's gonna open Dane's journal and flip to the part where Dane is talking about us specifically. If Dane here knew about us, who's to say that the whatever's here also doesn't know about us?
Good point.
And about us specifically. We didn't even know we were coming here until the bones were rolled for us.
Right.
That also was a while ago. So.
Right, that was 3 weeks ago. But I see your point. Whoever's out there, however many of them there are, know that we're here and know that we're coming.
Just landed on Lymeria.
Not much point worrying about it. It's already done, so
exactly.
We can move on.
I agree.
You have a point.
Perhaps we should try and send a message back to the Harbingers just to let them know that we've, or maybe get a message to the captain in case the captain of the Halcyon, to get something back to them. Just to let them know what we found here so far. I'm sure the folks back there will want to know.
Okay. So do any of you have sending or any other type of... Okay.
Nope.
You do know that it is, a scroll of sending can be purchased in any moderate-sized town. There's a common enough spell that, correspondence, especially over an oceanic world, is important. Even ships will often have a couple of sending spell scrolls just in case, especially if you need an SOS, that's a for sure way to get one. So you could absolutely relay information that way. You could certainly purchase one, or you can always just trust the good old, snail mail. Not actually snails in this world, but a reasonable thing to assume. Where would you all like to go next? Or what would you like to do next? Are we setting fire to this rental property?
With the attached apartments, the neighbors.
Is there a fireplace here?
There is not. This is not the type of environment that necessarily needs additional warmth, even at night.
Do feel like we should at least drag Hoss out to the beach and burn him.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Because also what I don't want to see happen is them using Hoss as a skin suit like they did with whatever this creature is. I just have a bad feeling about it, and I know Hoss wouldn't have. None of us.
So I apologize if this was not clear, because I was definitely trying to skirt lines and veils. Yeah. Hoss is flayed.
Oh, great, perfect. Then never mind.
He is what remains of him hanging from the rafters by his hooves, flayed, full on Predator 2 style.
Cool. Well. Then we drag him out for the rats to eat him.
Not even
circle of life sort of thing, getting back into that. That's my theory.
Can I do a quick question? When I talk to this axe, do I need to talk out loud to this axe?
It was a psychic conversation that you had.
Oh.
You could speak aloud if you would like.
Okay, I haven't told anybody about this yet.
Nope.
Okay.
Could I do a quick? Could I ask the? I'm not gonna argue this. Can I ask the? Does the axe? Can the axe identify any of the assailants? Does the axe perceive things outside of being an axe?
Give me another wisdom saving throw.
Oh God. I'm gonna fuck this up one of these days.
Nah, you got this. I believe.
I have a +6 to wisdom. That is a 13.
Okay. So, conversing with the axe, you put your hand back on the hilt again, reestablishing that connection. You ask the axe, can you identify the assailants? What happened here? And the world becomes an illusion around you.
Oh God.
And you watch as time reverses, and you watch the entire week and a half that has been between now and when Hoss first opened his door. All just in the quick blink of an eye, everything reverses back to where it was. And in a third person point of view, you can see this large black minotaur with these gold rings on his broken horns, runes carved into the bone themselves, as a knock is heard at his door. And he reaches for the axe, for you. You are the axe. And nobody knocks on his door, especially not this knock. This isn't the secret knock. You know what the secret knock is. And he opens the door only to be immediately rushed by 3 figures in brown cloaks. Their faces distorted, their eyes black, their smiles far too wide for what any humanoid could possibly be. There's one that appears like a lizard folk, but their teeth are wrong, far too big and too small and distorted and twisted, like they pulled the teeth from something else. There's a wood elf whose black eyes seem to twist and spin in their own sockets, and a gnome which seems to just leap from nowhere with these long spindly strands of white hair and this horrible cackle. its ankles almost seem broken as it's walking on the sides of its feet. And all three, like they've been pressing against the door like water to a dam, just jump out at Hostius. They surround him, they encircle him, they're on him, and while he is swinging fervently with the axe and driving it about, he cuts off limbs only to find that there is not blood that comes from them, and the knives are only being driven deeper and are only slashing faster. And it very much feels like you were in the middle of a storm, like a torrent of just sharp pain, because you were feeling Haas's pain in this moment. The bed smashes, the bookshelf topples, the carved into the walls, from the axe, there are marks from knives and axe alike, and in far too short a period of time for a warrior such as Hostius, he falls. And as he does, he drives the axe as he falls to the floor into the floorboards where you found it. And that's where things begin to get hazy. There's a sort of perception, but you no longer have your conduit to the real world to understand what is going on. But you know that there is loud noises of things being broken, of things being torn into, a rending of flesh. All these sounds you can kind of pick up on and recognize, especially that last one, your headsman's axe. You know that sound well. But this is drawn out. This isn't the quick justice that you are used to. This is something far worse. And then the next moment of clarity is when your hand touches it for the first time and you see the aftermath through your eyes once again. And you, after all this goes on, you see all of this just span out in a matter of seconds to everyone else, but to you it does feel like a week and a half. You come back to the present.
She is visibly a little disoriented. I don't know if anybody, everybody has better passive perception than I do. I have a flat 10, so everybody's doing better than me.
Yeah, Saskia just went somewhere.
I hadn't mentioned it before because I hadn't really trusted. His axe is a sentient weapon of some sort, and I asked it if it could identify the situation to us, and it has been kind enough to show me. I will describe just the attackers. I will skip the rest because they've seen how that is. I presume that the wood elf vaguely looks like the skin that we have in our burlap sack here.
Yes.
Okay. So we're looking for 2 others, I think. So we've got one accounted, well, technically still unaccounted for. But we're looking for definitely 3.
Yeah, I was going to say our third fella may not look like a wood elf anymore since we have his suit, but whatever it is still out there. We weren't able to capture it or anything.
But yes, I will describe our lizard folk and our gnome here. I will also generally explain that I'm not necessarily trusting of this axe. Very kind so far. The vibes are still a little, did not trust that whole power bit back when I first talked to it.
The axe talked to you. All of that information came from the axe.
Yes, the axe is very forthcoming in a way I don't necessarily trust. I don't...
I mean, if it kept Hall's company, how bad could it be, really?
I don't trust talkative weapons.
Yeah, it doesn't make a good point.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Just thinking out loud here. What's the worst that could happen with the talking axe?
I don't know. I don't like. I don't want it on my neck after all.
Oh, so. I couldn't use the thing anyway. It's a little heavy for my taste, but if a friend Hoss used it, perhaps it's a useful item with what we're going up against. I mean, it didn't save Hoss, on the other hand, but it didn't.
Also, good point.
Yeah.
Well, we can work it out after we finish whatever we're doing here.
It's worth lugging around anyway.
I mean, I'm taking it with us. So we can steal it off of me later in my sleep. That's what you want.
Don't look at me. I've got all the weapons I need right here. And holds up her fists. Holds up her fists.
That's fair.
Above table that is open invitation. If you want it, you can steal it off me.
I don't want it. You know, I mean, I think I might just be able to get if we can get a message to Captain Zara to take back to the Harbingers. I think that's our best bet without having to spend too much. Unless we want to like try and procure sending. I don't really know what they could do for us at this point since they're still 3 weeks out.
Exactly.
Well, our best. Go ahead.
If we send a letter, it might as well be a contingency. The Halcyon isn't leaving for another 2 weeks anyway.
That's true.
And if the letter leaves with us, it's pointless. And even if we got a scroll of sending, I'm not sure what we could really communicate about this in 25 words.
That's true. Well, we could at least maybe let them know what maybe a sending would be better, so we can at least let them know what Hoss found or what he was investigating, so they can start doing their research.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go see if we can. I would like to go and find some way to get a message back to the Harbingers.
If nobody stops me, I am burning this building down.
I fully support that.
I think Anubia is gonna be like, let's maybe not cause property damage here.
Yeah, so he's gonna be like, it's 2 whole other people who live here.
Yeah, let's maybe not do that.
Okay. It would also be easy enough for you all to procure a cart and move Haas's remains to deal with them somewhere else.
Is Haas's heart still there?
Yeah. I wouldn't say. I don't think the main thing that's removed is the skin.
Okay. Be on my pocket, Haas's heart.
Literally pocket.
I did.
Okay.
Just casually, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think a medicine check is necessary. I mean, it depends on, I guess, how surgical you want to be about it. Nope. But if you just want to, yeah, Kalima, that shit, sure. All right. Okay, so with Desiree being held back from her pyromantic tendencies, I'm going to presume a cart being acquired for Haas. Minus 1 heart. Stealing hearts. And Fia then looking for a sending spell. Let's go ahead and take our break there, and we'll talk about kind of off during break where you all might go and find the things that you are looking for. So stick around, folks. We will be back in probably just about 5 to 10. Go ahead and do the things, pet your pets, all that cool stuff, and we'll be back shortly. Vast and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Harbingers, a Horizons Call game. I am Derek Sword. I am your GM. If you are just joining us, welcome. This game is in support of the entertainment. And see, I always tell myself I'm going to memorize it. And then every time it's like, you know that thing? You're never going to memorize
Community
that.
Fund, that one?
Entertainment Community Fund, formerly the Actors Fund. And my brain's like, mix all those words together and make up something new. But yes, this game is in support of the Entertainment Community Fund. I should just think ECF, and that's going to make it so much easier for my poor brain. Should you be willing and able to donate, both of those qualities are really important together. You can impact this game with advantages, crits, group advantages, and even complications. So bear that in mind. All donations are very much appreciated. Let's jump right back into stuff. You all have decided not to burn down an apartment complex, not commit arson, but maybe a little baby arson on a beach. Maybe we'll see what you all decide to do with Haas. So a cart has been acquired. There's enough that you could just grab one real quick, borrow one off of somebody. Fia, I know that you are looking for a scroll of sending.
Sure
so that has brought you back to the Halcyon, which is there's a few people on board. Most of the crew, you presume, are on shore leave right now. But you could easily find your way to the very familiar captain's quarters of Captain Zara. And presuming you knock, Captain Zara Alzarka answers the door, and you can tell that she's like out of her captain's garb. Like this is relaxation mode for her. So she is wearing just this kind of silk robe, and she opens the door. She says, I did not think you would come back so soon.
This is tricky. I only tricky because that is distracting, but I'm only here temporarily. I need a way to get a message back to the Harbingers. We have managed to find a few things, which will take us out of the way, and I wanted to just relay some information. You wouldn't happen to have a way to do that, do you?
I would be happy to help.
Thank you.
I should have presumed you came to my door because you needed something. I apologize that I assumed the wrong need.
Tempting as it is, this is slightly urgent.
I understand. It is the least I can do for such important cargo, such as yourself. And she walks over to her captain's desk, opens a drawer, takes out a small box, unlatches that. Within are 3 scrolls, which you would recognize as magical scrolls. Opening them up, reading them, casts a spell, singularly once. So, and then the scroll disintegrates. She hands one to you. I expect proper payment in return for this. These are for emergencies only.
Oh, of course. Do you like that now or when we come back later?
Whenever you are ready with the currency.
Wonderful. Right, well, since you're our ride back, I'll get it to you when we come back.
Just another incentive for me to wait.
There we are.
And she walks you to the door, closes it behind you, leads you on the mid-deck of the Halcyon. Now kind of like rocking a little bit, even in the surf, as the thunderstorm has fully come on over the island and is kind of like pelting down rain. But a magical scroll, not deterred by water, you would be able to cast sending whenever you like.
Great. I give her a quick peck on the cheek, and then I fly off back to my friends because I don't want, as much as lovely as the captain is, I don't need her hearing what I'm sending.
Mm-hmm. And with a bird's eye view, you can see that the town has kind of gone quiet. Like lanterns are still out, but the bustling of the streets has definitely died down. Oddly enough, perhaps not odd to Fia if she's familiar with these beings, but the only real humanoids that are left out, Eunogus, are an amphibian Like they are the grung, the brightly colored
Mhm.
poison tree frog folk, and the ones that I literally just forgot, bullywugs, who seem to be rather enjoying the rain and the moisture in the air at this point. But you'd be able to make it back to your friends. Where would we find everyone else? Where would Fia find you?
I would assume, I mean, personally, I would assume that we'd probably go back to the Copperhead, because that was basically the only other place we know in town.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay. So going back to the Copperhead, you would find that it is much busier now. Shia is behind the counter, the gentleman you had spoken to before, and there is another bartender as well, a rather large lizard folk with this blue frill going down his back. And otherwise, the tables are almost full at this point with a variety of beings: humans, dwarves, wood elves, a lot of the peoples you kind of saw before, goblinoids, all just intermingling with one another, chatting about a cacophony of different things. But it is well lit, it is warm, it is dry in here, and the air seems to have a level of like mirth to it that might seem a bit odd for all of you from what you just came from. It's this sharp reminder that the rest of the world does not know what you all do. Sophia, finding all of your friends back at the Copperhead, what would you all like to do?
Well, I've got a scroll. I don't. Maybe I feel like we should wait to use it until we're well out of earshot of most people. I don't. It's kind of nasty out there, but I don't know how much better the weather's going to get. I don't know if we want to leave right this second, or try and get a good night's sleep before we have to head out. Maybe take our time to like figure out where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to get an initial heading and then leave as soon as we can.
Yeah.
I don't see too much value in resting up after we've spent the majority of the past few weeks
I agree.
not terribly active.
I'm feeling antsy. I'd like to get I personally would like to get going as soon as we have our bearings.
Can I go over some of the maps with Croak? Because he's probably much better at navigating than me. Just to be like, what's the like vague initial direction we're going, just so we can like get moving and then fine tune as we go.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Croak, I'll sort of like head over to you with like all the maps and all the stuff that we've got from us.
Okay. So yes, as you all are going through that, if you would like to do a survival check, so Croak, if you want to do like survival with advantage, as Desiree is helping you, or Desiree, if you have a better survival.
That is a 19 on survival.
19. Okay, yeah, pretty good. So looking at the general map of Lymeria, you all are kind of set in this southwestern bay. You kind of get the idea that the western part of the island is the more inhabited part of the island, and the jungles to the east are the more wild areas. And you can see in Hostius's writings, he mentions tribes of jungle giants, tribes of were-tigers, tribes of feral grung, a number of like terrors, dangers just from the peoples that inhabit there, the quote-unquote uncivilized. He even puts that in quotations just because they don't engage in trade, but also because a lot of them are territorial and hostile to outsiders. But he also notes that there are a number of stranger dangers the further you go in the jungle. There are hazardous plants, there are different types of creatures that would be classified as monsters. There are old spells which exist in these older places, and also the ruins of this long ago kingdom which has its own history, and a lot of his writings are tying into that. He talks a lot about the city of the Forbidden Gate, Torlengsin, and how no one knows exactly where it is, but it has to be somewhere in the jungles to the east. He has a list of guides who say they know where it is, but he has not, like, all of them, not vetted, not corroborated. Um, he also says that the first step for all of you should be finding not Torling Sin, because even if you get there, there's no way to get through the outer walls, which should still be locked. That's the legend of them, is that they are locked with magic, and that to enter them, you need the key. He believes that the key was found by the general of the Lost 99th, which was the Imperial what do I say, Legion, that was lost somewhere in the jungles. And he believes that if they can find that first, that the general has the key, and you can then track your way back to Torling Sin. So even where he's saying, like, everybody's looking for Atlantis, you shouldn't be. You should be looking to the front. You should be looking for the key under the mat to Atlantis first. So he also has, said that the guides say they know where that is as well, that they know the jungle like the back of their hand. And again, he has a list of 5 guides that he has not vetted, but who claim to be proficient in taking individuals in. Yeah, the maps are mostly local. So he does have what looks like a drawing of a battle map, which he says he got from the journal of General Tacitus, which supposedly made its way back, even though the general didn't. He supposedly mailed back his journals, as is common for military generals. Once you finish a journal, you mail it back so it doesn't get lost. And apparently they had maps of his battlefields all leading up to this, where they stopped contact. Any other maps besides that are mostly of the town, some pathways through the jungle, but it's also noted that those pathways are unreliable because they don't always remain. The overgrowth is so verdant and just replenishes so quickly that even deer paths are hard to trust. A lot of dump with that, but that's kind of what you're picking up from all of it. So what would you all like to do next? You kind of have an idea of generally where to go. Even Hostius was suggesting to get a guide. You do not need to get a guide if you do not want to. You have a message to send, and you could also very reasonably get accommodations at the Copperhead should you like.
I will be honest, I am not inclined to get a guide for this venture.
Okay.
Thoughts, everyone?
I agree with you, Desday.
Same. I think
the bones said 5. 5 of us there are.
I'd rather not have to slit anyone's throat for learning something that they shouldn't.
Yes.
Croak is going to take a look at the town map. Do they have like a library in town?
Libraries are hard to come by in Damaris because a lot of the knowledge that was before the deluge was lost during the deluge. I'm sure there is a resource branch or of some sort. There's got to be some accumulation of information. Yeah, I'm sure you'd be able to probably find it. They have like a town center, like almost a town hall, where information is gathered there. So not like a public library, but a place where if you needed government documents or something like that, so all the red tape, bureaucratic kind of stuff, it's all contained further inland in a governmental building.
Croak is going to hold up the journal that they were looking at, and then point at the town hall. He'll open his beak, and you'll hear like the sound of pages turning and like writing. And then like trace his finger around like you said the eastern part of the island map was like where like most of the jungle is.
Yeah, so you're in, this bay area you're in probably one of the biggest towns of Lymeria. There are other kind of outposts, but this is where like most of the trade kind of occurs, and then there's a lot of jungle off to the east, where the ruins of this lost empire exist as well.
Okay, yeah. So I'll draw like a circle, like a broad circle around there, and then back to the town hall, and then back to the jungle, and draw like smaller circles like around.
Good thinking. Would you like one of us to go with you?
Yeah, he'll one of the spectral ravens is going to settle on Fioc's shoulder.
Happily.
Okay. So Croak and Fia are going off towards town hall. What about everyone else? And we can also say, like, it's getting dark at this point. I mean, evening has arrived, especially brought on even, it's even darker because of the storm. It is a starless night. If you all just wanted to grab your accommodations, that is a reasonable thing, and pick up the next day.
Think first thing the next day, as early as we can.
Grade.
I'm not doing it in the evening. Is there like a mezzanine type thing here or is this just like flat the entire time?
There are two stories. Not sure a mezzanine necessarily. There's more of like the tavern, the actual bar, lower floor, and then there are two stairways on either end of the building which both lead upwards into the rooms, the hotel aspect of the tavern.
I kind of want to just keep an eye. I mean, I'm not leaving. I want to keep an eye out since we're here at like a bar, for like either of these two people that I had seen, courtesy of our axe, this lizard folk and this gnome. I want to keep an eye out as surreptitiously as possible.
Give me a perception check with advantage. And I should note there is like a walkway on the second floor that goes all the way around. So there's like what do I want to say? Not a banister or barricade. There's like a railing where you can go out of your room and kind of stand and look outwards. A balcony. That's the fucking word.
Oh, that one's bad. Oh, they're both bad. 7. I have a +0.
Okay. Pretty busy in here, but you're fairly certain that you do not spot them in here. And you don't get the vibe that anyone's necessarily staring at you. Everybody's kind of busy with their own stuff, and you all are old news in a town that moves this fast. So that felt really film noir, but I'm sticking with it.
It was good. No,
yeah.
I dig it.
Y'all are old news in a town that moves this fast. Okay, so we are ending the night here. What are accommodations for all of you? Are you all getting individual rooms? Is it one big bed? Are we pairing up? What's this look like? Are we sleeping head to toe?
That's an excellent question.
And it also yes, it depends on the cost.
How many rooms are available?
There would be enough for all of you to sleep individually, should you like. This is, I mean, it's a kind of like square building because it does have those high arched, kind of like Thai or even Vietnamese-esque roofs, and so it has that very like Asiatic sort of structure to it that gives you a lot of space. Everything kind of like is well organized at the top.
I will say Fia has never once had her own accommodations ever. It's either like on a perch somewhere or in a cave or in someone else's room.
I'm a little nervous, so I don't want to be sleeping in my room by myself.
One room it
Dusty's
is.
feeling
One room it is.
One room it is. Let's fucking
One
go.
room it is.
Okay. So going up to the bar, you see that Shia is busy. The lizard folk, however, doing the traditional bartender thing of cleaning a glass. That's how you know they're a bartender. Comes over. Hi, can I help all of you?
Yes, we're looking for one room.
The lizard folk eyes narrow. It kind of leans over the bar. You know there's one bed in a room, right? Like, and I'm not telling you how to do math. I am noticing that there are 5 of you. You know what? Polyamory is a beautiful thing. 1 gold for the room, another for the mess. We'll call that good enough for a night.
I'll drop him 2 gold.
Fantastic. All right. You all have fun. Okay.
I will cast alarm across our door. A silent alarm, a mental alarm. This will wake me up if anybody who's not the 5 of us crosses it. In case you need that information for some reason.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's so weird that you would say that. Gina, it's like you don't trust me or something.
Wow.
Wow, weird. So strange.
Weird. So weird.
It's not
So
like you're
rational.
taking the skin suit in with you.
Oh God.
Forgot about that for a second.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not my problem. I'm not going with a burlap sack.
It's
Yeah,
true.
hashtag skin suit, never forget.
Never forget. So I guess Croak and I are going to the town hall.
Are you doing that tonight, or are you doing that in the morning? I wanted to be sure
feel
about
like tonight, if we can, right?
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So
We'll just
you
bust
all
our way in, or bug the one person who's there manning the desk at late at night.
Yeah, like the town hasn't it's not midnight. It's
Sure.
just evening, and
Yeah.
it's dark and it's rainy.
Still
so like
obnoxious.
yeah, I mean it's like it's 4:58 and you all come in. It's 2 minutes to closing time. Nevertheless, there is an older hobgoblin who is sitting at the front desk with these circular glasses kind of pushed down on her nose, and as you two just come in out of the thunderstorm and the door closes behind you, you can see a circular room with long stacks of scrolls and papers and books, all organized in like the scrolls are stored almost like wine bottles are, with like this lattice work that kind of stores them all together. You see a lot of older works in here, but also some rather worn works as well. And she is sitting at the front desk. There is like a small, just little like waist high kind of wall behind her, where it seems like only she really has access unless you would walk through one of these little swinging doors. And she looks up, closes a book softly. Yes. Hello. Can I help you?
Yeah, hi there, dearie. My friend Croak over here is looking for. It was a map with it, Croak.
He'll mime unrolling a scroll and then opening a book.
Okay. A map of what?
He'll pull out the journal and then flip to a page and then point at General Tacitus's name. and then draw a finger across his throat. He's like,
yeah, where this general, approximately where we're trying to, the legend about where this general passed away. Something of a tourist spot for us.
You're not the first. We have a small diorama set up right over there if you would like to see about the lost 99th.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I will get you the book that everyone looks at. It has, as far as we know, the only maps that he ever sent back. I'm sorry, but this is well-trodden ground, and there is not much that I can offer in addition to what anyone else has seen.
Oh, I'm sure that'll be plenty of information. We appreciate your help. Isn't that right, Croak?
Croak just like cocks his head and like you hear like a crooning sound in the back of his throat.
She goes to retrieve this rather large, older tome and blows a little bit of dust off of it. And you see that just like engraved, and it just says The Lost 99th by various authors. And she hands it over to you. There are desks over that way if you would like to read through it here. I would ask that you not take it out in the rain.
Oh, no. Wouldn't dream of it.
We close in 10 minutes.
Noted. We'll go quickly, isn't that right? All right. Do your stuff. Let's see what we can find real quick.
Give me a history check.
History.
I would say with advantage, but this feels like two people typing on the same keyboard. Not how it works. Two people can't read through the same book and make it better.
Oh, God.
18.
Okay, pretty good.
Not that good. I'm distracted by the diorama. I'll be real honest.
You know what? Looking at the diorama, we'll give you some stuff for the diorama. So, Croak, at least, looking through the book, you can see that Hosty has probably read through this. There's a lot in his journal which references stuff in this book. There's maps that he copied over. There's notes that he copied over. He literally has like a map of Lymeria which shows General Tacitus's movements through Lymeria, trying to get to the lost city of Torling Sin because they believed that there was something powerful there, and they were the Empire was trying to get as much powerful shit as possible so they could have it, nobody else could. And so it shows his troop movements literally starting in Cianthray and moving his way east. The encampments that they had, which, it said that you can still find, like, if you dig enough, you can find arrowheads, metal arrowheads and, like, remains of the tent poles and stuff like that. It notes that there was a lot of resistance on his movement there, that he lost portions of his forces to jungle giants, which rampaged through an encampment, took out, it said, about an eighth of his legion just in that fight. They had constant problems with grung and their poison blow darts, which would just take out soldiers here and there, and nobody would notice until they did a head count that evening. The predominant theory is that there was a final battle for the 99th. They had become so tired and diseased and just beleaguered by the jungle that there was one final conflict that just wiped them out, and any survivors were so far in they couldn't make it back. There is a legend about one survivor, but he was not in Imperial garb. He was a human, so he had that going for him. He was a Nerian, as far as they could tell, but he returned to Cianthray, spoke of a massive battle at, he called it the Battle of Cabdak, said that they had lost their banner, that he was the only one to make it back, but he was dead the next day. He had died basically from exhaustion the next day. So there's a lot of legends around the Battle of Cabdak and where Cabdak necessarily is. The closest translation to Cabdak is a trap. So he was essentially calling it the local language, calling it the Battle of a Trap. And it's theorized... Please.
Sorry.
You could.
I'll you finish.
No, I was just going to say it was theorized that It is far enough east that they probably got very close to Toraleng Sin, but the individual never spoke of seeing the gates or anything, so it's likely they did not finally make it there. That's all.
Okay. Just going by what I pick up and like kind of cross-referencing it with our copy of the map and the diorama, would I be able to like get a sense of like what kind of route that the 99th took during this campaign?
You could directly follow the route of the 99th. You don't know you have in an alphabet of stops. You have everything except for XYZ. Because that's where the journals, like the last journal was sent right before the end. So you have almost the full path. You reasonably could keep moving east and potentially come across it. Perhaps there's even signs, because like I said, the encampments even have, like, to this day, there are people who go out there that are just looking for touristy shit and come back with, an arrowhead or a bit of fabric that somehow still remained out there. And the other thing is, the Empire did carry magical items, so those also are very resistant to the crushes of time. So some people even come back with magical items as well. So there is evidence that this path is accurate. So that's why it's committed to this history. But the theoretical part is where they ended up, and no one has gotten that far. No one has either found it or gotten that far and made their way back. There have also been expeditions since that have not made it back. So while Croak is thinking about that, Fia, looking at the diorama, it is all miniatures, all painted. You see the purples and reds of the Nerian Empire. You see that there is a banner carrier. He has like a long staff, a long flagpole essentially, with the vertical banner of the Nerian Empire, the 3 Triskelion swords. You have the heads of the unicorn, the black eagle, and the lion, all adorned on top like a sort of chimera, who is pointing forwards. And you can see that there is a very ornate stone wall with this like mosaic work done into it. However, the Nerian Empire is being very quickly overrun by, at least in this depiction, Alafi. It's not totally Alafi forces, but you can see there's miniatures of like snake people that have wrapped around the like a Nerian soldier and are like looming down at them with claws and large fangs, and it's very sensational. There's blood painted everywhere, and soldiers reaching for their weapons out of lakes and everything. And it's the miniature works great, but it says based on potential historical events.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cute. Somebody put a lot of work into this.
And the hobgoblin looks over her glasses. She goes, "Yes, I did. Thank you."
It truly is beautiful work. Croak, did you find what you needed?
Croak will hold up our copy of the map with like the additional like stuff that's been like scribbled in, points where like guesstimating where the 99th would have like encountered like the locals or hostile creatures, and like basically like where he would guess like the path that they took would like lead.
Right. I think we're done here then. Thank you so much for your time. Let's get
And she goes to look at a clock on the wall. Good timing.
I've been told that before.
Croak will hand back the book that he was using.
Thank you, young man.
Thank you.
Right, and then I guess we should head back? Yes.
Okay. Returning once again, soggily, to the Copperhead. You find your way back to the rest of your party. Perhaps they are upstairs. I will let you all determine where you potentially are. I will note that you are given a suite by the lizard folk, so there is a significant amount of room. There's also like a couch that's provided as well. There's a chest for some of your items should you want to put them in there. There's like the folding dressing wall thing that I don't know the name of. Um, it's a simple room, but there are lanterns here, and there's also doors that lead both to the hallway where the stairs are, and also outside onto the balcony. They are like the kind of like paper doors, the shoji doors, so they will slide, but they do have locks on them. And Saskia did put down the alarm spell as well. So if you all would like to do anything else for the evening, go for it. If you all would like to wrap it up for the evening, we can do that as well.
I'll just shake out my wings so that they're not so damp by the time I go in.
Okay.
Can I do two things as we go into like the night proper?
Yeah, absolutely.
First, I would like to manifest my echo and just have her sit down somewhere and just watch and make sure we don't get jumped. That feels like
valid.
Something I would like to do. So I'm just gonna like manifest the echo, and it doesn't need to like sleep or eat or anything. So just like have her just like hang the hell out in the room and just like vibe and watch. Yeah. Second of all, I want to touch the axe.
Yeah.
I want to see what's up with the axe.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it. Do it.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
I'm not good at these.
Okay.
I mean, I did just put it down somewhere. I'm not concerned about this damn thing.
Okay.
My wisdom
we're just
is
leaving cursed items everywhere.
My wisdom is -1.
Oh,
my pockets are only so big.
That's
fair.
true.
I rolled a 10 total.
Okay.
I mean, dead average. Yeah, that's yeah.
Again, you feel a coldness kind of like almost through your veins, like your blood runs cold. Your memory has just been sold. This is not an angel in the centerfold. This is a cursed axe. What is wrong with you people? You hear the voice in your head. A new hand. I'm not used to being handled so frequently. Are you worthy? Do you seek true justice? Do you seek to remove the head of evil? I can help you. I can give you great power.
Well, I suppose that is my day job, and great power wouldn't hurt.
Wonderful. Wield me, and I will give you the true justice that this world deserves. Fail me, and I will remove your head of evil. Do we have a deal?
Well. Let's see where this goes.
Then a pact is made. Desiree, you may take a level in Warlock. You are now a Hexblade.
Bro, what? Let's fucking
What's your charisma look like real quick?
Hey, yo. So glad that wasn't me. My charisma is 10.
My charisma is a 10.
Dead average. I mean, a 10 for a 10.
Yes, you
We'll
are
figure
now a Hexblade Warlock.
Let's
So
fucking
we'll
go.
look into that momentarily. You all are going to level up at the end of this.
Oh, cool.
But Desiree has decided a path, which I will say you do not have to take Warlock, but that is the agreement that the axe is asking for is a Warlock pact. But I will not impose that on you if that is not something you want.
Cool.
Okay. So as Desiree and the axe form a bond, a union of sorts, what does the night look like for the rest of you?
So Thea is gonna do I think I'm sticking to sending the message once we're actually out on the road, and out of the city, because I just don't trust anybody else that's around here. But I think there's like a little out from the room. I think Fiat is gonna go like perch outside briefly once everybody's kind of settled down or closed their eyes, and take the heart that from Haas and just like have a little midnight snack. That's all.
Okay.
And it's done in a way. There's kind of a like blessing. Oh, she kind of does a little ritual over it and sort of sends it up to the Morgan. It's her own sort of like sending Haas off moment.
And yes, for a character whose name literally in Latin means sacrifice, Haas is passed on to where all harbingers ultimately go. Okay. Did you all dispose of Haas's remains in any way, shape, or form? Are we having a beach fire? Okay.
I think,
all right.
yeah, maybe.
You can throw Haas into the surf and let the sharks have at him. I mean, harbingers are also of the belief that like a mortal shell is only that. You all know better than most that it's what is within the Morrigan, the Raven Queen, Anubis, what have you cares about.
It's the circle of life, blood, death.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can get a Leonin in here to. We will say that it is disposed of properly, even though it is raining. A beach fire is enough for Haas, and the high tide will take the rest. Okay, so the evening goes on. You all sleep with Desidee's echo as your guard. The alarm does not go off. The echo does not notice anything untoward. No rules needed. You all get a full night's rest, and the next day begins. The rain continues. What would you all like to do as the very gray morning arrives?
Let's go.
I think Croak is going to like take a quick inventory of like their items, like make sure they have everything they need, and then get ready to head out.
Okay. So you all are planning to go into the jungle?
Into the jungle.
Mighty jungle.
Going downstairs, you can see that, the tavern is quieter. There are some people enjoying what the tavern provides as a breakfast. And both Shia and the lizard folk are behind the bar once again. Did you all have a nice evening in your accommodations?
A wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
Phenomenal.
I would like to take out like 2 extra silver and just put them on the bar for the mess.
Yes. Okay. Great.
I'm gonna get up there. There's no mess.
Yeah.
Reaches for a mop and just kind of like presses against the lizard folk, and he goes, "Nesh, you can deal with all of this. It's considered a welcoming back sort of thing." And the lizard folk just kind of looks down at the mop and looks at all of you and goes, "Listen, I don't need to know all of the details. Just, is it one type of bodily fluid or more? I just need to know how many mops. I can't mix and match mops."
I'll be honest, I wasn't really keeping track.
Yeah, sorry about that. And Fiat just winks at him.
You know what? Good for you. I know what it's like to not, and I'm glad you do. And you know what? Life's good. Okay. All right. You kids be safe. You look like you're going somewhere. Are y'all leaving port already? Thought you just got in.
Oh, well, we decided to go and go on a little hike, I suppose. You don't suppose you have any, like, rations or things that we could take along with us? Might be gone a bit.
Are you all going into the jungle?
We're thrill seekers.
All right. Like throws down the map. Listen. You all need somebody. I'm better at that than going into than cleaning up whatever. All of yous. I'm just saying I know this place. I'm a great guy. I'm a good fighter.
Oh, we wouldn't want to get you into any trouble. Besides, can't expect you to be hanging out with the lot of us, frankly.
I mean, I know trouble. I used to work for I used to work for somebody real bad, and I don't know more. And I'm just saying, I'm happy to give you rations and whatnot, because I mean, more power to you. But if you need somebody, Nesh is your guy.
Wait, would I have known from my time? Would I know this character?
I think, were just before Nesh. Although you might have heard his name depending on how many times you went back. He did work at the bar. He did work at the Beggar's Choice,
because I
was the bar
spent
on the
a
fen.
little time on the fen.
Yeah. So I'm not sure he necessarily recognizes you, but
yeah,
you might piece together the blue frill and the.
I feel like if he doesn't recognize me, there's no way that I would recognize it.
Yeah, very, very possibly. Listen, all right. I'm not stepping on any toes. Shaya's great boss. I'll get you all some trail rations. Yeah, if you need anything, I wish you the best. All right. Don't die. And he'll go into the back and bring out some, like burlap wrapped trail rations. Is about a week for all of you. I mean, we got the statuesque one back there, but yeah, you'll be fine. It'll be great. Watch out for literally everything. Okay, all right.
And I'll give Nesh a couple silver as well.
No, ain't a thing. All right, okay. And yeah, Nesh just nods to all of you and goes to pick up the mop, just trudging upstairs.
As he's heading upstairs, good luck. Don't die.
I deserve that. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, isn't he gonna be in for a surprise?
Is Desiree carrying the axe now? Like, is that?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I will say this: the axe does kind of call to you as well. Because what weapon do you typically use? You usually use like a rapier, right?
I usually use a +2 rapier. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll do maybe some off-screen stuff about that,
Yeah.
and talk about that here in a bit. Okay, so exiting the Copperhead, back onto the road, you can see that even though the rain is still pouring, that it's still busy. A lot of people are wearing the like flatter, wide-brimmed hats to try to keep the rain off of them. The beasts of burden sometimes are wearing cloaks as well, because the rain has like a cold to it. Like, it's very humid, but like the rain is much colder than the natural, like the room temperature, the outdoors temperature where you are. Okay, so we are generally following the map. Is that the plan?
Yeah, I think Croak has mapped out the path. I think Croak should lead the way.
Okay.
But not too far ahead.
Okay.
There, okay, I've done my big sister thing. Not too far ahead.
Croak, why don't you give me a survival check, since you have the the map to go off of.
It's a nat 20.
Nat
Or a
20. Okay.
24.
Okay. So you all walk out of town, walk through the various gateways, the walls that'll adorn the city, past the apartments of formerly Hostius, further on to where, there's no commerce out here. There's maybe a few residences that become more and more spread out, even to where the buildings begin to become abandoned and ramshackle and collapsing in on themselves. Um, you continue walking. I'm presuming you all are walking, unless we can backtrack and see you got animals to ride, but I leave that up to you, unless you just wanted to hoof it. I guess none of you have hooves. Claw it?
Pat it.
Yeah. Bean it. Yeah.
Bean
Catch
it.
your toe beans. Yeah. Okay. So yes, on foot then. You continue to where the dirt path that exists from being well trod just stops, and it's mud at this point, but where it just becomes grass and the expanse of the jungle is laid out before you. And Croak, you walk in, and with everyone else behind you, you begin to pass. There's how are we getting through this? Because this is very dense jungle. Are we hacking and slashing, very Western explorer, or are we being conscious of the forest around us? So Croak, I'm going to say survival check of 20. You're the one leading. What is everyone else doing? Pick a skill or an ability or something you would like to do for this first leg of the journey. We'll roll on it and we'll kind of see what that looks like. So Anubia, what is something that you might be doing while traveling?
She would probably be keeping a lookout for any, I guess, dangerous beasts that might be approaching them. Just kind of be wary of danger.
Okay. Give me a perception check then.
A 22.
Fantastic. Okay. So that'll be a carrying one, is Anubia, also being the tallest among you, is kind of keeping an eye out. Fia, what is something you might be up to?
I feel like Fia is not being particularly helpful in this first leg of the journey because I'll be working on contacting the Harbingers through this. I feel like, and I also part of it is that I feel like she's a little limited in the denser parts of the jungle, since she can't get to full wingspan anyway.
Right. Yeah, it would be pretty difficult to even get a bird's eye view. You even see that maybe Croak's birds are perching more than they're flying. There's not a lot of space really here. A lot of the birds, even in this part of the jungle, soar above the canopy as opposed to beneath it. Desade, what is something you'd be up to?
For better or worse, I am Western explorer as fuck out here.
Okay.
Because I am an urban type person and I'm out of my wheelhouse. So can I just use athletics to just straight up just push the hell through?
For sure. Yeah, I like that.
That's better. That's a 19 plus 5 for 24 total.
Okay, wonderful. So, whereas Croak is kind of just a little bit smaller, just go. Croak waddles in my brain. I don't know if that's accurate to a ranger, but I just like people that just kind of just mosey about. Croak is just in the brush and just gone for a moment until Desade very swiftly, almost Robin Hood-esque, carves her initials in the greenery, and it all falls away to a clear path. Yes, so with a trail being blazed for you, things are made somewhat easier, and you do come across clearings from time to time as well, where maybe the sun will break through, or the trees will not grow as closely together, but it is pretty dense in here. And lastly, Saskia, what is something that you might be up to?
What am I up to? Well, I am working smarter and not harder, and I'm just following Desiree. There's not really a lot for me to do here at this moment. I might have something to do when we get a little closer. So is it possible for me to just check out, keep an broad eye out for any like interesting like herbal type plants.
Yeah, definitely. Give me nature or perception.
Could I add my proficiency for an herbalism kit to this?
Definitely. This could also
Okay.
be survival if that's better as well, because you are looking out for very specific plants.
I'm gonna do a nature check.
Okay.
And I'm gonna add my proficiency, which is a +3. Oh, that's bad. 8, 9, 10, 11.
Gina, you're so good. I hate that every time you roll, you say, "Oh, that's so bad." Okay, you said it was 11.
It was 11.
Okay. Okay. Let me think about what that means.
And I also am walking behind Desiree, who's just hacking all the plants to pieces.
Absolutely. Yeah. So like you're just like looking at half of a leaf as it goes by. I can't really spot that one. You all continue onwards through the forest. Croak, a roll as high as yours is fantastic, but even you are getting like a little disoriented because as much as you can tell, I'll say that you all have a compass. Everybody has a compass. There's a fucking world full of ships. Everybody has a compass. Everybody has a compass. Everybody has a knife. Those are the two things that are true. But it's tough even for you where you're getting disoriented in this jungle where everything looks the same, and where you might turn to the left at one point and then forget the number of degrees that you just turned and have to pull out the compass again. So it is slow going as you are navigating what you believe to be the path that General Tacitus took. You estimate that you will reach the first campsite probably by evening, as you all struck out pretty early in the day. Anything else that anybody is necessarily doing as we're going along? Because otherwise, it is loud in this forest. I'll note that as well, that there's a lot of bird noise, there's a lot of insect noise. It's very frequent that there will be a scuttling in the underbrush that Anubia will pick up on, but it's always away from you, not towards you, and more than likely it's some sort of animal. But yeah, is there anything that any of you are doing in addition to your other roles? As you know, Fia, are you ready to do your sending? If not, okay.
Yeah. All I'm sending is Hosted looking for the key to the gates of Torling Sin. Starfall confirmed presence. Any info appreciated.
Who are you sending to?
I would be sending to our Oracan.
Okay, so let's see,
The owl.
your hero specs, the Evander Acreus. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The hero spec there. Yeah.
Is that the complete message?
Yes.
Okay. Takes a few moments, but you do hear a response in your mind. Give Hostius the rights. Find Torling Sin. Prevent the doom at all costs. At all costs. Return if you can. We all believe and rely on you.
Right. Well, that was certainly helpful. As if there was any other option. I relay that to everybody else, but... All right. Sounds like no way but forward.
Just want to check one thing real quick. Okay. Saskia, as the Croak is moving forward. Actually, let me ask this as well. What is the order that you all are walking through? Because I presume this is going to be single file. So I'm also presuming it goes Croak, Desiree. Who comes after Desiree? Is that Saskia?
Yes, I said earlier I was behind Desiree, so I think I would maintain that.
Cool. And then who's bringing up the rear? Is that Anubia or Fia?
Probably Anubi will be bringing up like the rear mirror. Yeah.
Great. I think that makes sense. Anubia being
Yeah.
the tallest can kind of look down at the rest of them. Yeah.
You know.
Theo's just slow as shit, so apologies.
Moving through the forest and carving this path and not really being able to constantly see what's in front of you, you do actually all get to a break in the forest, this kind of glen which opens up a little bit. And Saskia, you actually notice with your herbalism check as you are looking out for certain plants, that even as like the rain is pattering down, the break in the trees where the sunlight almost creates like this spotlight on this individual plant, this very large flowering kind of plant that all kind of seems, oddly enough, like it's like a flower that hasn't bloomed. And you find that a little odd in the rain, but there's something about it that you can't necessarily remember, but you remember there's something in your herbalism knowledge that says that there is a useful bit to this plant. What would you like to do, if anything, with that information?
We're gonna have to like pass it as is. Oh geez. She is very curious about this. She's gonna point this out to everybody else. We're not just gonna run up straight to it. Oh god. Let's do the stupid thing. Just gonna tell everybody. Hold on. I'm gonna walk up to it. Just letting you know. I'm gonna tell everybody I'm gonna walk up to it. I'm gonna very cautiously walk up to it.
Okay.
Just to see if it bites me first.
It does not seem to necessarily react to you immediately. Like I said, it's bigger than you plant,
Oh,
and it's not
geez.
the first kind of plant that you've seen like that, but it has some. It's mostly green on the outside, kind of has these pinkish, purplish kind of edges to the leaves. Yeah, like I said, you're remembering something important about it, but you just can't necessarily recall the information about what is important about this plant particularly.
Oh, let me check to see if I prepped. Did I? No, I don't have detect poison and disease. So if this poisons me, I won't know about it. Oh gosh. Here's the thing. Important plants and plants that are potentially useful. It's like it could be like their leaves or if it's flowering or something. I don't know. Does it? Oh. I'm gonna look at Croak to be like, hey, could you come over here?
Croak will pop over to where Saskia is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I remember that there's something important about this plant, and you're a lot better at this than I am. Do you have any advice? I'm also scared of this plant above table.
Could I make like a nature check or something like that to like see if I would recognize what this plant is?
For sure.
Cool.
I'm taking out my hand axe.
That's an 18 for nature.
Great. So, also, Saskia, you said you're taking out your hand axe?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. Anubia, with your perception roll, you would be the first one to see that one of the long vines that's also tipped in kind of that purplish pink is just wrapping around Saskia's ankle as she pulls out her axe. As Croak, you recall exactly what this thing is. This is a body taker plant. And as it lifts Saskia into the air, ripping her off of the ground and tossing her into its now enveloping maw, I will need you all to roll for initiative.
Croak being 10 feet with me gets a +3 on that. Why did I say that as a question? That's a fact.
Yeah.
11 plus. Just so you know, I have a flat 10 to whiz, so she's not very
What's
good at
average?
these things.
That's fine.
That's
fine.
Pretty average. Yeah.
Good old
Yeah,
average.
that's totally average.
Yeah,
For our
exactly.
viewers at home, I rolled really great stats. It's not a joke. Everything is 16.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the most ironic thing is you're on great stats, and then just these rolls are really hurting you.
They're so bad. Well,
Equilibrium principle.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, it's
All right, let's go ahead and get some rolls going here. So, Anubia, what was your roll?
Dirty 20.
Nice. Fia?
5.
Oh.
Desiree?
Natural 20 for 25.
Hang.
All right,
Hey.
so Desiree taking up first place. Saskia.
17.
Okay, and Croak?
12.
Okay, pretty solid. Saskia and okay. Since this thing has essentially a surprise round, we are going to have it attempt to entrap Saskia. So, Saskia, you, let's see here, are being pulled into the plant's space. It is going to make an attack on you, which is an 18 plus 7. I assume that's going to
Yes.
hit. You are going to take 22 points of acid damage and are
Yikes.
now enveloped by the pod. It essentially, you watch as it, like, Little Shop of Horrors just engulfs Saskia. Saskia, you are grappled, restrained. You have total cover against attacks and effects originating outside the pod. You also have to, I need a DC 16 con save from you, please.
DC 16 con save.
Please.
Oh god, what is that? That is caught in a weird thing. 12 plus 5 is 17.
Wonderful. You are not stunned, but you
Oof.
can feel the enzymes of this plant's gullet essentially burning your skin and trying to like little tiny needles, all just trying to paralyze you with this reagent inside of it. Okay, so you don't require air, weirdly enough. But
No,
if you spend an hour in here, you will take a level of exhaustion. So hopefully you don't spend that long. Okay. For anyone trying to free Saskia, you can do so with a DC 15 strength check. Or you can kill the plant. That is those are your options here.
Sure.
So as we jump now into the regular order, Desiree, it is your turn. You have just watched Saskia get swallowed. What would you like to do?
Oh, shit. I would like to use an action to attempt to remove Saskia from the plant.
Okay. DC 15 strength.
DC 15 strength. Is that is that athletics or is it just straight strength?
Just a strength roll.
Okay, cool. All right, that's a 19 plus 2.
Nice.
Love
Great.
that.
Okay. Yeah, you are able to like grip Saskia's feet just as they're just the boots are just sticking out, and with a slurp, Saskia
Not a
is ripped from this
slurp.
thing's maw. It now has like the bulb of it has faced down at all of you with all of these petals covered in these tiny little teeth. That it gives out like this very wet roar at all of you, and you watch as all the vines kind of manifest that go to grapple each of you. Okay.
And can I bonus action pop my echo in?
Please, absolutely. All right, Anubia, what would you like to do?
Well, seeing as how Saskia has now been saved by Desiree, that thankfully frees up some resources to just be used on just pure ass kicking now. So yeah. She's just gonna dash in with her Kopash and just slice and dice.
Great, go for it.
Oh, what? I didn't even. That's a natural 20.
Okay, go ahead and do that double damage.
Cool. Okay. Let's do that. Alright, that is. That's 2 plus 5, 7. Times 2, 14.
14. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You carve some deep slashes into the side of this plant and watches some of those enzymes are now like kind of seeping out like sap. Anubia, I will need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Cool. Okay.
Are you within 10 feet of me?
She would be.
That
Probably,
is
yeah.
a plus
Yeah.
3 on top of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember this is a thing.
That is 28.
Great. You do not trip as a humanoid hand goes to grip at your ankles and you're able to rip free of it. But all of you would watch as now around the plant, almost like plants themselves, unburrowing themselves, like their seedlings
no.
growing. You watch as essentially Nerean soldiers, but plants
Great.
Love
start
that.
rising from the ground. These podlings.
Cool.
As this is a body taker plant, you can see that they are
Sure.
plant copies of soldiers who potentially died hundreds of years ago are rising in defense of this man-eater.
Whatever they offer you.
So there are 4 of them
Eat the
that
plants.
have pulling themselves out of the ground right now. Anubia, is there anything else for your turn?
Well, I have a second slash because of my
Please,
extra
yeah.
attack, so I'll roll that on the. I'll roll it on the plant again. So.
Cool.
That. Where'd it go? 26.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Eight damage.
8 damage. Okay.
Then I'll use a bonus action because of martial arts to use an unarmed strike on it. So I'll roll for that. 13 this time.
13 does not hit.
Okay.
Okay. All right. It is the body taker's plant's turn.
Great.
It is going to take its vine attacks at Desiree, Saskia, and Anubia, as they are the 3 who have engaged. So the first attack at Saskia, that is a 22. The second attack at Desiree, which is a 25, and at Anubia, that is a nat 20. So let's see, 6 plus 4. So let me get my 2d6 here. So starting out with Saskia, you are only going to take, I believe that's just 6 points. 6 points of slashing damage. You are not, or I'm sorry, you are grappled, which has an escape DC of DC 15, which you can do on your turn. But yes, otherwise just 4 damage. For Desiree, you are going to take 9 points of damage, and for Anubia, that's 22 points of slashing damage. All of you are grappled. Again, DC 15 to break out of it, and yes, that is it for its turn, as it needs to. It did not get its entrapping pod attack back. So. With that is its turn. Saskia, it is your turn. Again, you are grappled, DC 15, but you can still attack even though you're grappled.
Does that impose a disadvantage? I can't remember exactly what grappling does.
Yeah, grapple's always one of those weird things. Grappling. Let me pull this up because it's always weird what the difference between grapple and restrained is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, I got it. Speed is 0.
Yeah.
That's basically all that's relevant to me. Okay, so I do not attack at disadvantage apparently. I will take my hand axe because I'm really mad at it now, and I will take 2. Well, I'll take 2. Wait, let me see if I can do anything first. Did I unprep? Actually, what did I say? Which smite I prepped? I prepped Thunderous Smite.
Right.
On my ring. So I will use a bonus action Thunderous Smite on my hand axe. And then I will take 2 attacks on this plant thing. Well, we'll do 1 attack first. Let's see what happens. Oh god, what is that? Oh, that is a nat 1. So I missed that.
Okay.
I'll take my second attack.
You might have rerolls as well if you would like to use any of those.
I haven't.
You have rerolls and an auto crit.
I do have an auto crit. Hold on. You know what? Let me roll the second one first, and then we'll see what I'll do.
No worries.
Paladin, I only need 1. That is a 15 plus stuff.
15 plus stuff will succeed.
I will. Okay, so that is a hand axe, and then Thunderous Smite. So that's 2d6. That's 3d6 total. Okay. I don't have that many 3d6s out. I will roll that damage first, and then I will check what exactly. So that is first 6 points of slashing damage plus 3, 4 points of thunder damage, and then where is Thunderous Smite? Oh god, this is the problem. Thunderous Smite is. First time you hit with a melee attack, it rings with thunder that is audible within 300 feet, so anything in 300 feet can hear this. It must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed 10 feet away and knocked prone. This should be a DC. My typical DC is 14, so 14 saving throw.
Rolled 12 plus 4, so 16. So it is not moved, but it will take the damage.
Yeah, so otherwise it would have been pushed 10 feet away, which would have ungrappled all of us immediately. But unfortunately not. That's all I can do.
So I'm sorry, how much damage in total?
What did I say? Where's the log? I don't remember. It was 4 thunder damage.
Right, I think it was additional 3 on top of that.
Might have been additional 3.
Yeah.
Slashing.
Okay.
I can't remember.
I that sounds right, and if the log says something different, I apologize. I was trying to make sure I knew what this thing could do. Okay, anything else for your turn, Saskia?
No, that was bonus action, and then I'm grappled, so I am 0 speed, so I can't move.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Broke, it is your turn.
Okay, real quick, can you describe this plant creature? Is it like a big pitcher plant, or is it like a big flower that like kind of leads to like a big pitcher?
Kind of like a combination of the two. Like it has like all the petals have teeth on them that kind of splay out, almost like Stranger Things Demogorgon-esque. But there is like an inner area that has the enzymes that will disintegrate and also remake something, which is where the body snatcher things, the podlings, are coming from, is they are something that the plant has created for its own defense. So think of it like a flower that's fully splayed out with vines coming out of it as well, but it is a huge category creature.
Okay, and is the pod like open, or is it like shut
it is.
at the moment?
Like the mouth is open to try to get one of you. There's nobody inside, so it has not closed up the way that it did with Saskia.
Okay. I'm going to try something here. I would like to use an item. I'm going to light a torch. And then for my action, as part of my Swarm Reacher Keeper subclass, I get the Mage Hand cantrip. Except the Mage Hand manifests as my Swarm. So I'm going to hold the lit torch up, and one of the spectral ravens is going to grab it out of my hand, and I would like to direct it into the mouth of this plant creature with the lit torch.
Okay. So essentially trying to, are you like throwing it into the mouth, like the bird's carrying it inside the maw?
Yes.
Or are you trying to like burn the outside? Okay. Yes. You watch as one of your spectral birds carries this torch into the enzymes of this plant creature. You're in a very humid area. This thing is well watered, but the fire still does have an effect. Go ahead and roll 2d8. That'll be 2d8 fire damage. You watch as the torch is snuffed inside the lack of oxygen and the enzymes and everything, which aren't necessarily flammable, but this thing still does take fire damage.
That is 11 points of fire damage.
Very nice. All right. Yes.
Do I have any of these like plant zombies around me, like in my immediate area?
Yeah, so kind of like clockwise around you, there is one that would be within, I mean, you move 5 feet, you could get within 5 feet.
Okay. Then if I need to, I'll use a bonus action to disengage as a cunning action, and then like move out of their reach.
You got it. Yeah, very easy to do. They're very slow. Anything else for your turn?
Action, bonus, movement. That'll be it.
Cool. Fia, you are up.
Alrighty, inspired by the use of fire from Croak, Fia will do her customary take the back of the whip and sort of draw it across her shoulder blade, and as she does so, fire crawls up her whip. And then would we say that because it's got 3 of my friends near it that it's holding on to, that it has people within 5 feet of it?
It does have people within 5 feet of it, yeah.
Great. Okay. Which would therefore count as sneak attack.
They're grappled, but I don't think it, well,
if I'm like
it has one vine left to grapple with, so I'm gonna say it's not necessarily can be snuck upon.
Okay.
Yeah, because
That's fair.
Is engaged just as much.
That's fair.
Does my echo count as an ally being nearby who is not grappled? Because the echo is immune to conditions.
That's true. So yes, I will. In that case, I will consider sneak attack.
Great, fantastic. Bless that Echo Knight friend. We love the Echo Knight friend. All right. Fiat's gonna just fly still within range of this, but just be above this friend and try and go for it with the whip. Once, maybe twice. Actually, we'll do twice, because why not? Let's do the first one first and then do the second one. Oh god. Really, dice? So the first one is 15 to hit?
15 just misses, as AC is 16.
All right, second one. Okay, that's much better. That would be a 19.
Yep.
To hit. And then let's see. So that's D4 for the whip and a D4 for the or D6 for the flame, and I believe the sneak attack still works on the first hit, or on a.
Correct.
Right. Okay. D6. That. Okay, so that is 9 slashing for the whip plus 1 fire damage plus an additional 2 for sneak attack. And then I guess I should also do my own damage, which is 3. Okay, cool. That's not bad. So yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Looking pretty rough, but still planted. Let's go back to top of the order here. Desade, you are restrained. Or I'm sorry, it's the podlings' turns before we get to Desade. So they are going to take attacks on. I guess one of them is going to go chasing after Croak, but will not be able to catch up. Does not have enough speed to get to Croak. The other three are going to go for the restrained individuals. So they just have one slam attack each, +4 to each. That is only a 10 to hit Saskia. That is a non-natural 20 to hit Desade, and only a 10 to hit Anubia. So, Desade, you are only going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as this shambling plant corpse just tries to literally slap its plant parts against you. But otherwise, the rest of you are able to, even though grappled, get around that. And we are now back to top of the order with Desade.
All right, so let me understand the geometry of this real fast. So Saskia and I are within 5 feet of each other because I pulled her out of the plant. That means
Right.
I'm within 5 feet of 2 of these plant zombies, correct?
Yeah.
And then there would be a third plant zombie next to Anubia.
Correct.
All right, cool. So here's what I'm going to do. Quickly it flashes through my mind that the most tactically sound decision seems to be killing the plant. But I reach back and grab this axe. I look at these zombies. Surely killing Narians counts as justice. And I would like to attack the plant zombies.
Okay.
Can I just use the rapier damage and
Absolutely.
rolls for the axe
Yes.
and we'll figure out? Okay, yeah. So first attack on first plant zombie. Let me bring out my character sheet. 26, does that hit first plant zombie?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's see. That's going to be 1d8 plus 7. We're going to re-roll that. Oh, wait, no, we can't do that because axe doesn't do piercing damage. So that's going to be 9 damage on the first zombie.
Okay.
Rolling again. Does 19 hit?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we're going again for the first zombie that I already hit. That's going to be another 9 points of damage. Is it still up?
No, that one is down. As you were carving into these things, you also notice that though it looks like they're wearing armor, like old style Nerian Imperial armor, it's goopy. It's all the same thing. It's just it's a simulacrum of whatever this person was. And you just slough right through it with the axe.
Right. Then what I would like to do next is narratively, Saskia's looking in slightly better shape than Anubia, who's taking some damage. So narratively, I'd like to toss the axe to my Echo, who's standing next to Anubia, and then make the bonus action attack.
Absolutely.
Coming from the Echo. Oh wait, no, this is not a bonus action. This is just a Unleash Incarnation feat or Unleash Incarnation class feature. So make that attack. Does a 28 will hit.
Definitely.
That's going to be 12 points of damage.
Okay.
And then bonus action, I will use my hand crossbow to fire at the one next to Anubia again.
You got it.
All right. Let's see. That's going to be a 21 to hit. This is a d6. Max damage, so 11 points of damage at the one next to Anubia.
Okay, so that was the one you targeted with both attacks?
Yes, so I did 2 on the one next to me, then 2 on the one by Anubia.
Both gone. Now down to 2 podlings. So all of you watch as Desade just goes full John Wick and eliminates these 2 podlings that just kind of crumple into desiccated plant matter. Anything else for your turn?
Can my Echo toss the axe back to me?
Sure.
And that's it.
Nubia, it is your turn.
Okay, so I'm trying to. So Desiree took out the one next to me, and then the one right beside her. I'm trying to. How far is the one that's near Saskia? From
About 20 feet. Or sorry, Saskia is maybe about 5-10 feet from you. The one going after Croak is about 20 feet. Those are the remaining 2, and then you have the plant, of course.
Right. Yes. In that case, Anubia will swing with her fists to try and get the one next to Saskia. want to reroll that. That was a 4. Yeah, I want to reroll that. Much better. Just go to there. 23.
23 definitely hits.
Yeah. Okay. That is 10 damage, which I'm going to use for slashing, because I can basically change which type of damage I want to do. And I'll also, because I can, I'll also use my Manifest Blow to use the D6. This day is going to be necrotic damage.
Okay.
Which is another 5. So that's 15 total.
15. Okay. Just short of it going down, but real close. Anything else for your turn?
I have a second swing.
You sure do.
A 25.
Yep, definitely.
So let's roll. That is a 9.
That is more than enough. So Anubia, following suit to Desiree, how would you take this additional one out?
So I guess seeing Desiree take out the one extra Nubia, that's definitely, she's seeing her chance now. She's been sort of freed up, not exactly, but she'll basically just go full pugilist and just start wailing at the one next to Saskia.
Okay.
With a little bit of a necrotic flare at the end to flare, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So if there's nothing else for your turn, it is now the plant's turn. So the body taker plant is still with everybody grappled that it had grappled before, is going to make a vine lash attack at Fia. Because Fia, I'm presuming you're within 20 feet, even if you did fly up.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I stayed within range.
That's only an 18. Does that hit Fia?
It does, actually, yeah.
Okay. So Fia, you are going to take 14 points of damage. That is slashing damage.
Great.
And you are also going to be grappled. Again, DC 15 escape. I'm sorry, I didn't say this before. Actually, we're just going to skip it because I didn't say it before. It does say restrained, but I'm just going to say you're all grappled.
Mm-hmm.
Also, with its additional 2 actions, I am going to get back its entrapping pod. And now it is going to try to entrap Desiree as being the one who has done pretty significant damage to it so far.
Yeah.
So Desiree, I will need let's see. Actually, you're already grappled. So it is going to essentially right itself, turn its mouth vertical, lift you up, and slowly start dropping you in with its like little needle teeth, all pincering its enzymes into you.
I'm just shouting and cursing in an extremely undignified manner. Pure panic.
Desiree, you are going to take 28 points of damage. That is acid damage. And then you are restrained. Total cover against attacks and effects. And then I would need a DC 16 Constitution saving throw from you.
How do you feel about making it a DC 7?
You know what? Would you like to use one of those advantages, maybe?
No, fuck it. Let's see what happens. I'm curious now.
You are stunned by the enzymes being injected into your body. Until you are removed from the pod or the plant dies, you are stunned and cannot fight yourself to get out.
Cool.
I will also note that as Desiree is engulfed, there is a lower portion of the plant near the stem that opens up like a bulb that bursts, and what seeps outwards is what was beginning to be the podling of Saskia.
Yeesh.
Which is just barely trying to get its very goopy body to stand and come after you, but does not have a lot of substance to itself. And it's kind of like if a Saskia candle had mostly melted, like the features aren't really there, but you can kind of get the vibe that that's what it was going for. With that, Saskia, it is your turn.
All right, Saskia is very tired of this. This is too much. I am going to use my auto crit on this to make an attack roll. I still have my hand axe, so auto crit the hand axe, and I will drop a second level divine smite into this.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to double dice. That's, since it's second level, that's 3d6 to 60. Wait, what is it? I just counted this out. Oh, it's 3d8 for a second level times 2, so that's 68. And then whatever my hand axe is, which is a 1d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 plus 10, so that's 26 plus 3. 29 points.
Okay.
And yeah, that's for my first attack. If it's still up. It's still up?
Barely.
Barely, I will take a second swing. This one I actually have to roll for.
It is starting to uproot itself after that first attack to try to flee.
Oh my god.
Because weirdly enough, this thing has 10 feet of movement and can swim. But Saskia, please.
I'll take another swing. My hand axe. That is bad. Actually, it might not be bad. That is 9 plus 6, 15. Does that hit?
15 is just one short, so I can
Just
make a
one short.
devil's bargain if you would like, because you very well could end it on this.
All right. What's our bargain here?
So go ahead and do the damage, because I want to see how much damage you're potentially going to do. To give you whether you're I want to give you an informed devil's bargain. I am a kind, if not
right.
not entirely benevolent DM.
I was going to put another just a first level smite into this, which is just a 2d8. 2d8 plus whatever.
Could be enough.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points.
That would just be enough. So what I'm offering to you is you could end this if Desiree also takes that damage.
Do it.
Yeah, sure. I'm a healer.
Okay. So Desiree, you were going to
Is it going to kill you? No.
You're going to take the entirety of the 29.
Not for long.
Pass 2 attacks on this, since you're inside of it.
Oh, so how much damage is that total?
Be 29 plus 14.
Plus 14?
I am extremely down.
Oh, that's fine. Whatever, as long as you're not dead.
That's fine. That's what we've got a paladin for.
Exactly.
All right. Great. So, yes, Saskia, please describe how you finished this thing.
She is just really mad at this. This is like full like wrath of the Morrigan, just fucking. We're lucky it's not her glaive here. Just one hand axe, and it's actually real simple. It's just straight down, and then she's gonna just rip it straight out, and that's it. Like probably going straight into Desiree's shoulder, wherever it is. But it's just a quick like, just a butcher's like hack in, and then
there's so much oomph. You find the hard part of Desiree on the inside. Yeah. Fantastic. Yes, this plant just collapses. All of the petals collapse, and gooping out in the sappy enzymes is the unconscious form of Desiree, which lands with a splat on top of the now collapsing form of the Saskia podling. The other podling going after Croak just collapses, like reaching out to Croak, like a bunch of leaves in the winter just desiccates onto the ground. And this plant, all the vines, everything just collapses, flays out. This thing almost flattens on the ground and is just gooping out. What would you all like to do now that we are out of combat?
I'm gonna do a quick on Desiree. How many hit points do you have total? Just for me?
I have, my max is 76. I am at -10.
Oh, you're at -10. Well, it's still 0. I will
Yeah.
give you. I will use lay on hands and give you. I'll be generous. 20 points. You
Okay,
have 20
okay.
hit points.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I was up in the air. I would fly down to try and like support Desiree like under her arms to get her out of the plant goop.
Great. Yes, you all are no longer grappled, so the vines just fall limply away as well. And yes, Desiree now back briefly from unconsciousness, from the brief unconsciousness.
Get it.
You all are able to limp away from this encounter. This being, of course, the complication. So thank you for the solution for that.
Thanks for that. You know, I'm
Um,
starting to think we should have taken that lizard folk up on his offer.
You all continue on.
I think before we leave, Croak is gonna hop up to Saskia, point at the dead plant, and yeah, you would hear in your mother's voice, "That's a body taker."
Okay.
Saskia, having been on the inside of this thing, if you would like to roll nature with advantage, or survival, or whatever it is with your herbalism kit with advantage, you may absolutely do so.
Oh God, where did they go? That looks bad. Man, that's a 2 and a 4. Rolling so
Nice.
Gosh, I want to give this to you.
Oh gosh.
Rack, do you mind if I use Croak very briefly?
Go for it.
Fantastic. Croak walks over to you, pulls out your herbalism book, flips through a bunch of the pages, and lands on body taker plant, enzymes, healing potions, and
Oh God.
then just like hands the book back to you. So you would know that the enzymes that are now covering Desiree are actually a common ingredient in some versions of healing potions. And you would also know, I will give this to you and Croak because this is a complication as well. Body taker plants have that quality because they also have a natural rejuvenation. When the plant dies, it returns to life in the place it died within 1d12 months, unless the ground where it took root is sown with salt or soaked with poison. So, not that you have to, but just so you know.
Didn't we get poison as part of the standard Harbinger equipment?
I believe you all have one vial of poison.
I think so.
Just in
Believe
case.
that is true.
If that information is like said out loud, then I will just walk over to his roots and just dump poison on it.
Great. Okay.
Fucking
Not going to regrow that. But yes, Saskia, if you would like to collect some of the enzymes.
Yeah,
on
I
the
would
inside.
like to collect whichever we can resolve how much at some point.
Yes,
I don't
we can determine that. Yes, because the nice thing about it is it's a numbing agent because it'll stun. Saskia goes. Go ahead.
Oh no! I thought we were moving on. Go ahead.
Oh, we are. I was just going to say you collected the enzymes.
Yes.
You all continue onwards. Gena, did you have something?
Yes. Would it be possible? I don't know. If I could spell cast while we're moving.
Sure. Yeah.
I would like, because of additional paladin spells. Thank you, Tasha's. I could spend 10 minutes of casting time to do a prayer of healing at second. Well, it's a base second level.
Can we also take a short rest?
We could.
We could.
So if
I would do this anyway.
If I could offer this as well, within about 10 minutes of additional walking, Croak, you would recognize the next clearing that you come across as being the first stop in Tacitus' journal. You all have found what remains of the first camp. And it is kind of a tourist spot in a sense where you can see that there are other tents that have been set up. There are sort of like little displays or little markers that have been placed, indicating like where maybe even some archaeological digs have been done in this area. There is no one here, and yet there is a designated campfire site, and so it's kind of like this is base camp of Mount Everest is essentially what you all have found. There's a lot of trash here, but no people. So if you all would like, evening has arrived. You have spent the day journeying through the jungle. You may absolutely camp here if you would like and take your long rest, or if you all would like to continue into the night, we can leave it at that.
I will say, base thing, prayer feeling, everybody gains 14 hit points. Anybody who needs that, I can
Thank you.
do up to 6 creatures, and we're less than 6, so that'll take 10 minutes. This is just bookkeeping.
We could at least short rest here.
Short rest.
At least. I mean, perhaps a long rest might be useful at this point, since we know that this is a good spot for it. But I definitely want to spend some time to look around and see what we can find out from here.
Short rest.
I'm inclined to push on, but I can also see in the dark and don't have to sleep, so take that for what it's worth.
I can also push on. Also, for more bookkeeping, I'm going to use a fun other Tasha's Paladin feature called Harness Divine Power. I can expend a use of my Channel to Divinity to regain some... Wow, I suddenly can't read. To regain a spell slot, so I am regaining a 2nd level spell slot.
Cool. Well, it sounds like you all are pushing on.
Yes.
Awesome. We are going to end here for the night, regardless.
Yes.
For real life night.
Real life night.
So as you all push on through the forest, push past this first base camp, and into the darkness of the jungle, you all do get to level up, and we will pick up with what comes next time. Join us next week for more Harbingers.
Heck
same
yeah.
time, same lovely place. So I'm going to go around, have these lovely people say a little bit about themselves, where you can find them, if they would like to be found, of course, it's their prerogative. And then we'll do some channel stuff, and I will let you all get out of here. For the last time, I do want to say that this game is in support of the Entertainment Community Fund, formerly the Actors Fund. Any donations that you make are very much appreciated. Of course, willing and able are the important qualities in you donating, but can impact this game as well. You can always donate at any time through the Tiltify link that you can find in chat, as well as on our socials. Even midweek donations just impact the next game. So very much appreciated. Always can go towards a great cause. Let's go ahead and go around. And if you'd like to say where people can find more of your lovely self. So Abhishek, if you don't mind, start us out.
All right. Hey everyone, my name is Abhishek Matange. I'm a voice actor who likes a lot of nerdy things, especially tokusatsu. So any Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman fans, feel free to hit me up. We definitely have a discussion because there's a lot to discuss this week, especially with Ultraman Blazar finishing off. Sad days. You can find me over on the Bird site at neon_Raiden. You can also find me on Blue Sky with the just neon Raiden, no underscore this time. Finally got it. No, finally was able to get that no underscore. You can also find me over on Instagram at Abhishek Matange _VO. All the links are in my link tree over there. Chat. Yeah, that is going to be it for me.
Fantastic. Thank you. Next up, Alex.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex. I once again had a real great time tonight. Sword and Key currently has a monopoly on my lovely self since I'm not really on social media anywhere else. And yeah, had a great time. It was good being here.
We're very lucky to have a monopoly on such wonderful folks such as yourself. Thank you, Alex. Next up, LD.
Hi, everybody. I'm LD, or the Lady Dame. You can find me everywhere that's important on the internet at the Lady Dame. I'm a late night... I should say stop saying late night. I'm a variety Twitch streamer. I'm also one of the delightful hosts of the Monster Crush podcast along with our wonderful GM here, Derek Sword. And I stream on my own channel right now on Mondays, although I'm planning on adding some other days. Although this week I will not be streaming for multiple reasons. Not the least of which is the general strike for Palestine, but also because I'm sick. But mostly for the second reason, or the first reason. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I do really appreciate, as somebody who works in the theater and in the entertainment industry myself, it means a lot to me for anybody who is donating to the Entertainment Community Fund. That is a personal that charity is really personal to me, and I know they've helped a lot of people, that a lot of my friends personally, and a lot of people who are in my community, and so every little bit counts, and I very, very much appreciate it. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, LD. Next up, Rack.
Ladies, gents, viewers of all pronouns, I have been Rakolai, Rakolai. I don't really have a preference on how you pronounce it. I'm just glad you're here. Thank you all for tuning in today. I have been Croak, the Kenku Ranger Rogue, and normally you can find me here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rakolai. This week I'll not be streaming in observance of the general strike, but normally I am on here building model kits, mostly Gundam. You can also find me on Twitter at Rakolai. That's RAKO, capital IAI. Yes, I know it's not the proper spelling, but someone else already has that, so I gotta make do. I'm also on Blue Sky with the proper spelling of my name, RAKOLAI, and that's about it.
Thank you, Rack. Honestly, if you type in RAK, like that's a real good start. Whatever comes next, we'll figure it out. Yes, definitely check out Rack. Also have Rack on another game up and coming here soon. I'll talk a little bit about that. Yeah, I don't have a full cast just yet, so it'll be a loose announcement. But it is mech related, so Rack was literally the first person I reached out to with all the Gundam stuff. Last but not least, Gena.
Hi, I'm Gena. You can find me on Twitter at _GenaThan, like Jonathan, but Gena at the front. The underscore is important. I'm not really anywhere else, but I do have a card there for things that I have. I remembered that I have it. I am here on Sword and Key, and that's all I'm at right now. Yeah. One day I'll get good at these. One day.
I've been doing it forever. I'm still not great at it. Honestly, it is a bit of a shame that so many of these people are exclusive. They are incredible players. If they want to, I would love to see them in more and more places. So if you have games where you're looking for incredible cast members, look no further. They're all right here. Just steal its exact same cast. I dare you. I say that while I'm also incredibly envious anytime that I see these people anywhere else, because I just want them in all the games. I wish I could constantly run games and have all these amazing people. So thank you to them for helping me tell this incredible story. Thank you to all of you for joining us for another episode of Harbingers. We're halfway there. We got 3 episodes left with maybe some more. I'm going to talk to these people about that. But I would love to have, I'm thinking maybe a battle royale with the main Horizons call cast.
Yes.
Something
I'm
like
so
that.
in.
We'll see what we can do. Regardless, I will have these faces back, if not with these same characters, which I would love additional characters in the future. I absolutely promise. I'm Derek Sword. I am your GM for this game, for many games. Thank you again for joining us for them. I should note my pronouns are he, him. Sword is my real last name. Yes, it's awesome. No, you can't have it. If you want to follow me, the best place is on like any social media, I guess Twitter or Blue Sky. It's dsword16. That's fine if you don't want to. Go follow Sword and Key though. Sword and Key is where I put most of my effort these days. If I'm doing anything on my main, it's just retweeting stuff from Sword and Key, because I don't have that much energy. So Sword and Key, you can find all of our socials at beacons.ai/Sword and Key, all one word. A lot of our social has underscores, including Twitch, so sword_and_key. But our Beacons also has the Tiltify for this charity campaign, has any other Tiltifies for ongoing charity campaigns that we have as well. It has the Pally for Horizons Call, where you can tip the cast and crew of that. It has links to Monster Crush, the podcast that LD and I do about different cryptids, creatures, and miscellaneous monsters. Our pansexual, panromantic Pandora's Box of Monster Love, which you can listen to wherever podcasts are found. It has links to join our Discord, where you can hang out with cool people such as these and more and talk about cool things. We even have movie nights, which occur every other week on Fridays, typically around like 5 or 6 p.m. Pacific time, I should note. Let me see if I can find my calendar here, and let's talk about some upcoming stuff. Again, we are taking the week off, as Rak mentioned as well, for the Palestine strike. So this will be pretty much the only content you get from us this week. We are moving back the Horizons Call Season 4 premiere again an additional week. So that will be releasing... Correct calendar. That will be releasing the 27th, or I'm sorry, the March 3rd. February 3rd. Jesus. See, Gena, I could do this forever. I'm still going to be bad at it. Yes, so we just had the Q&A special, which LD did host. If you want to learn some cool stuff about Horizons Call, you can always watch the VOD of that. That will be published to YouTube as well. All of our stuff is published to YouTube. You can find at Sword and Key, all one word, YouTube/at Sword and Key, and find all of our old games there if you ever want to catch up on stuff. So the Q&A special will be posted there shortly. We do have a new episode of Monster Crush, which will probably be released tomorrow at this point because I'm tired and I'm not doing any more editing tonight. We do have, like I said, our movie nights that occur every other week. The next one is going to be My Neighbor Totoro. Join our Discord to be a part of that. And then, yes, the Season 4 premiere of Horizons Call will be February 3rd. Upcoming a week from today, Harbingers will be back for episode 4 of 6. We also have the premiere of Deathmatch Island, which is a 4-part mini-series with Anik and Eva, our co-founder, that is going to be, so I understand, like a mix of like Hunger Games and Battle Royale and Survivor, but like Survivor if they like were really, if they meant the title and like people died on Survivor. It's kind of got that vibe to it. It's like, you know, reality shows gone ultra dark. So bear that in mind. Not every game's for everybody. Looking into February, we have more releases of Monster Crush again every week. We have the rest of the Harbinger games, the rest of Deathmatch Island. We have a game of Sanctuary, which is a GM-less game created by Megan Cross. That is going to be on the 17th of February, Saturday, at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'm looking at the 24th right now for Eldritch Automata, which is a game I was talking about earlier that it's going to have Rack in it. It's basically biblical revelations with mech suits, so really into it. That is currently a Kickstarter by Gena Gaming, if you would like to learn more about that. I'm currently doing some casting for that, so if you're a big mech or Gundam fan, hell, if you love Zoids, we can talk about Zoids, let me know. I'd be... Oh, okay. Well, I got Abhishek right there. Whenever I say Zoids, I'm always gonna find somebody who's like I can deeply connect to because nobody knows what fucking Zoids are, but I love Zoids. Additional movie nights. We're gonna have The Princess Bride as a movie night in February. We're also gonna have Howl's Moving Castle. Really important date coming up is February 26th, which is my partner, my co-founder, my partner in life, Eva. It is her birthday, so put that in your calendars. Shout out to Eva for that. Yeah, and then we have even more cool stuff. After Deathmatch Island concludes, we're going to have Trophy Dark take that slot starting March 3rd. So we're going to have more applications out. We're going to have more games out. Keep an eye out for those applications. They always post to the Discord first and social media second. And we'd love to have you as part of our game, as part of our tables. I believe that is everything for this week. Just a reminder that we also are affiliates with Greenleaf Geek Dice and also Eldritch Foundry. So if you want dice, if you need minis, check out the links that you can see in chat for those, and go ahead and use our discount codes and our special links for that. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for hanging with us. We will see you again in a week from today for Deathmatch Island and then Harbingers. Until that time, fair winds, following sails, weird birds. Take care of yourselves.